everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Parachat. This is our 5th episode. Here are the girls.
Hello, hello. We are back.
Welcome to our 5th episode.
It's already Friday. Welcome.
Yes.
We love Fridays, girls.
Yes, and thank goodness it's actually calmed down with the temperature compared to what it was in the beginning of the week at almost 100 degrees.
Yeah, over here
We're very happy.
in Orange County, California, we are experiencing some weird temperatures. So
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at, but type it in the chat. What is your temperature? Let us know.
What
We
is
are
your
interested.
Exactly. And what's weird here
Well,
is
let's find out, girls, if they can see us okay. Can everybody see us okay? Let's see.
can you hear us?
Can you guys see us okay?
Yeah.
I see
Yeah?
you guys.
Okay, let's keep going. Good job. Awesome. Okay, so what are we talking about tonight, girls?
We're talking about different pieces of alien and life and also planets and universes. Black holes.
Different galaxies, types of aliens, and even some
Quantum
quantum theory. Yeah. You owe me a
Yes.
Coke. You owe me a quantum Coke.
Yes.
But like,
Coke Zero.
yeah. So tell me a little bit about the alien life in our universe.
Well, I'm going to tell you there's types of aliens.
Mhm.
So if we go over those, we'll technically have the grays first, which
Mhm.
look like small children. They have a larger set eyes. Also, there's different kinds. I don't know. Can you guys name there was one that started with an N.
Nordic.
Is it
Nordic
Nordian?
and Aryan.
Nordian and there's reptilians.
Right, and there's way more, but I really
Yeah.
don't know.
There's
All of them.
Pleiadians, and all sorts of varieties. But everyone always, I guess, represents the reptilians as evil, as something like mean, like a mean alien, someone that has a hidden agenda. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yeah.
who
No,
knows?
nobody really knows, right?
And we have alien life in the universe. So if you think about it, there's 2 trillion
Uh-huh.
galaxies. Different universes,
Right.
galaxies. And we believe that there's some that are in bubbles that could potentially link up to another galaxy. And also, we have many different galaxies. And you could actually go through a black hole or what's otherwise known as a wormhole.
Well, because all galaxies have black holes in the middle, which makes our galaxies and other galaxies spin. Our galaxy is the Milky Way,
Mhm.
right? So that makes it spin, which is kind of weird that all of the galaxies have a black hole in the middle.
Exactly.
And to say that we're the only ones, the only Earth on this planet, like the only Earth in the whole universe, is ridiculous to me because there are 20 billion Earth-like planets times 2 trillion
Galaxies.
galaxies. So it's so crazy to think about that. You can't even count those. You don't even know where. I mean, I guess there's like a black hole in each galaxy, right?
Right.
Yeah. And how are we supposed to travel? And we can travel. It's just a matter of making opportunity meet with can we do it
Right. Well,
and survive.
why do you think that people or people see shadow people? Do you think it's because 2 galaxies connect together or 2 universes? Because there is the multi-universe theory.
Well, if you have shadow people, I think people are here trying to find out
Uh-huh.
what our universe is like,
Mm-hmm.
how things go.
Right.
What people are always testing to find out who's there, what they can find out, and quite frankly, what's the technology? I'd be interested in finding out what their technology higher or lower or equal, then they may have their style and their universe
Right.
running on.
Well,
And what
some
their
like
people
our
do.
planet, we run on water,
We have
Oxygen and
we have an
water.
atmosphere,
right? But other planets could run on acid, for example,
or
or
CO2.
just water,
Yes.
right?
And there's different pressures. There's different and also like I don't want to go on a tangent, but like different jobs for each alien, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think the only one job is to take us into their ship. I think they have a special job, a special mission, uh, like maybe to observe and report. You never know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you have the FBI and the CIA for our
Yeah.
secret missions. So obviously, their government and their land could be similar to ours.
Right. I think you're right. They might have different jobs. They're from different planets, different universes, different galaxies. I don't know if they're here in particularly, but I do believe that they exist. Why wouldn't they? I mean, we exist.
Right. And to answer your question about the shadow people, I think that in a minor, I guess, about string theory,
Uh-huh.
the veils are thin in between each parallel universe, and I'm sure that there's a black hole, in each galaxy. So
Right.
there's got to be a lot of wormholes, a lot of entrances, a lot of it's kind of like time jumping.
Right.
Yeah, and I've always been interested in time jumping because I think we do it. I don't think we do it consciously.
Intentionally, right?
I don't think so. I think that we can actually figure out that there is a future out there, that we do know what's going to happen,
Mhm.
and quite frankly, other people in or other entities in other universes
Right.
also know their fate, for a lack of a better word, their opportunities through their higher learnings as well.
Right.
Yes.
And honestly, the only way we know about aliens for sure, is through movies,
Yes,
right?
but people have experiences. Look at the children in Zimbabwe in 1994. They were very young.
There were 62 children that saw two great aliens and one spaceship. Tar, you know a little bit about this, right?
Yeah, there was a message for certain children. I guess they were a lot closer to the ship, and they they actually referred to it as a little man, a little gray man that had large eyes with like a white pupil, and that their eyes sent the message almost like
Telepathically.
Telepath.
They
Yeah.
saw images in their mind.
yeah, it's like a
Mhm.
vision. So they only could explain how they were seeing it. 'Cause
Right.
when you're talking to a child, they explain things in the way they can understand, and then when now that they're adults, they explain it in a different way, more.
Because they interviewed them now.
Uh-huh.
This was in 1994, September of 1994, that this happened. 62 kids were outside playing on their break or their lunch, and they were elementary school children, like little kids, like what, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe a little bit older,
Some of
10.
them were 12.
Yeah.
like, some of them were younger. But they all got together and they actually were interviewed by a man. I don't know the name of the man. Um,
Oh, for he was a psychologist. His name was
psychologist,
John.
Yes.
Yes.
I think he passed away. May he rest in peace.
Hmm.
They actually got telepathic images of visions of how we're abusing the environment.
Right. There were
Mhm.
three messages, three main ones.
And the second
Technology.
one, yeah,
The technology,
Yeah.
about the differences between good technology and bad technology. And this child, I think it was a girl, she saw images of how technology is good for certain things,
in the right hands.
yeah, in the right hands, the intention again, right?
Mhm.
It's helped a lot of people. In hospitals, people are saved now. They don't, they're able to. The doctors are able to see within the body without opening people up.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing, right?
Well, we kind of have that already, which is good because when you have laparoscopic surgery and stuff, it's actually a machine that's going into your body with cameras and tools being ran by a doctor
Right.
that's not even touching you.
Gotcha.
So, if that's the case, technology is there and it's very close. I think um, they also had the end of the world visions.
So that was the second message.
Mm-hmm.
The third one, actually.
The third,
Dead
yeah.
trees, and they would see, like, I don't know if burning trees or animals running. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that one movie, the Knowing movie, which is interesting.
Oh,
You guys should watch
Knowing.
it. Yeah,
Yes,
you guys should
that's
watch
such
that.
a good movie,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's a really good movie because in that movie, aliens were able to save a few of the children, pairs, from all over the world in order to start another world that's like what we mentioned, an Earth-like world where these kids could live and start, you know, and make sure that we keep living, like human beings keep living, and we don't,
Yes.
die and kill ourselves or whatever. Because I mean, I think we don't really like take care of our planet. Do you guys? What do you guys think?
No, I don't think we do. I think we abuse a lot. We abuse our water systems. Okay, my whole thing is why shouldn't I be able to go to another country and not have to get a bottled water? When I went to Japan when I was 18 years old, um, the water system there, I don't know what happens, but you go into the airport, you think, oh, they filtered the water that you're drinking from the fountain. No, they didn't because I got spots on my head and on my arms. So why is it? Is it because different countries do different filterings of their water? But what's so bad that I'm gonna end up with little like welt things, and I did on my head, and I had them on
Well,
my arms and
because
everything.
people are allergic to different things. People are allergic to different types of drinks and food, and even to plants, to dandelions, to roses. I mean, you can be allergic to a lot of things.
Like, how
Yeah,
do
the
you know?
only thing is water. I mean, that would be the simple thing.
It's
to
because
drink.
it's treated with something different.
Different.
Our
yeah.
water in the United States is treated with fluoride.
And also
Yes.
the water,
And chlorine.
the air quality, and and maybe the sun. I don't know. Maybe you got burnt. Maybe
Your chemical reaction.
like, I don't know. I've never been there,
Yeah,
so I can't.
it's weird.
So, what do you guys think about our water being cleaned with fluoride? Actually, it's not cleaned with fluoride. You know that their excuse or whomever it is that puts fluoride in our water, they use it as to keep your teeth healthy.
Wow.
But on the toothpaste thing, it tells you not to swallow the toothpaste or the fluoride or whatever. You need to consult a poison control. But it is USDA approved, so it's kind of like, mm, I don't know.
Well, when I was younger, we actually had moved from Torrance, which has very good water system being filtered through there. It's so close to the ocean. They've always had very good water. So I didn't care at any time. I would go and get the tap water,
Yeah.
and I didn't need to drink bottled water because the tap is so clean.
Wow.
But we moved from
Well, that's probably
Torrance.
spring water then.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And when we moved to Anaheim, after we had moved to Orange, because I
Right.
don't know I don't remember how it is here in Orange. You
Yeah.
girls would be able to help me on that. But Anaheim ended up being the worst water in all of Orange County.
But don't you find it strange that water is different in every county? That makes no sense to me. Especially if they just put fluoride in
They
the
don't
water.
because you can smell my tap in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And sometimes my nose is just a little bit more sensitive, where it's actually smelling not fluoride but chlorine.
See, that's
and
not good. I mean, I
high
put chlorine in my pool.
See, the thing
Exactly.
is that unfortunately money makes the world go round, and there's not enough budget in certain places, and the filtration system is always not the greatest. But let's move on to the aliens. What do What do you think about the Travis Walton experience? Do you know about that?
Um, Not so much because I think you were pretty
Well, we
informed
met
in it.
Travis Walton and we were super excited. We were super giddy. We were so nervous. I was shaking and I was like, oh my God, I'm meeting Travis Walton. And he's been in space and he's met aliens.
Wow.
And I had to hug him.
Opportunities.
Oh my God, I was so
So
happy.
then that gives him more of the idea of which aliens are out there
Yeah.
and the different, I don't want to say species, but there's some that are humanoids
Right.
that can walk the closest among us.
Those are the ones they call Nordic or Aryan.
Nor is it
Aryan?
nor
Aryan, I think.
Aryan.
Mhm.
Well, these the Nordics, I believe people say that they're tall, really tall, like
Like
6 to 7. No, yeah, 6 to 7 feet tall, blonde,
wow.
very good looking,
like very chiseled looking,
blue eyes.
like
Wow.
what they believe. I think there might be hybrids. I think they might be like merged together because it's surprising that okay, they come here to observe and report and do all of these things, and they come here, and all of the times that people are taken,
Yeah.
they always bring us back with a message or with something.
Well, not always.
Well,
We
yeah.
don't know. For the people that haven't come back, we don't know. I mean, why don't you tell them about Travis Walton?
Well, other than that we met him, he's so like he's very eloquent, very soft spoken, very simple man. Um, he had an experience um, when he was working in the mountains with his logging crew.
Right.
Actually, Mike was his manager, so he was just part of the crew.
Who was his brother-in-law?
Right, which was his brother-in-law, and then he actually when they were done, for the day after a long day, they were driving around and they saw what looked like a forest fire.
Well, and this is from Fire in the Sky, the movie.
Yes,
But the movie, it's only like maybe 20% of the true story.
exactly. As he told it
Yeah.
in his, I guess in the auditorium, in the small auditorium, he told us that the Hollywood version is not the real version. Um, and we asked him some questions. We're like, were you afraid? And he says, yeah, I was afraid because, he didn't know who they were, what they wanted with him. But the thing about, you know, them showing up is true. And he was like blown away, like at least 10 feet in the air.
Well, what happened first was that the whole crew saw a light.
Yeah, that looked like a forest fire. They saw the light. They went to go follow it. They saw the craft, and Travis just happened to get out and check it out. And then I guess they saw him and they blasted off, and then he blasted off in the other direction, 10 feet away, and
He was hurt.
I think they
obviously.
broke him.
Yeah.
They broke him. They killed him. His friends and his brother-in-law were freaked out, so they just like reacted quickly and took off.
They were afraid. They thought they were gonna get
They were so scared.
sapped.
And then, yeah, they thought they were going to go too. So they freaked out. They took off. They thought he was gone.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to get, zapped either. And then while they were, over there contemplating on whether to get Travis again or not, they came back and they didn't see him there.
Well, Mike came back.
Mike came back. He was the one driving. And he actually,
He felt bad. He felt guilty. He's like, oh my God, what if he's still alive? We know that he was thrown 10 feet away, but what if his body's still there and he's like alive? So I'm going back. You guys stay here if you want to, but I'm going back.
he was the one that was making the ultimate decision because he was the manager, he was their boss,
And his
he
family.
was responsible for all of them, all of the people there. So he had to act quickly and furiously because he didn't know what the heck was going on. So he freaked out.
Right.
They took off. They came back to pick him up, whether he was dead or alive, and he was gone. And
He looked everywhere in that area.
And so Travis was saying that he was on the ship for, I guess what it felt like for him was like 15 to 45 minutes was ended up being 5 days for everyone else on Earth.
But that that might have to be because I don't know if you guys know about Albert Einstein. Oh my God, I just blanked out. Anyways, it's about how if you travel at the speed of light, if you take off in a shuttle into space, you don't age as quickly as the people on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he was in space, and that's why it felt to him like 45 minutes, and to everyone else it was 5 days.
The theory of relativity.
Theory of relativity.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
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 Oh my gosh. And I love Albert Einstein. He's so cute.
I know. He was.
And then really, then the quantum theory comes into effect too.
Yeah.
At that point.
There's the double slit experiment. I mean, I'm just gonna sum it up to particles and two slits in a wall. You imagine a bunch of like little dots, little particles, kind of dodging around everywhere. And what it said is that when you are observing it in real time,
It's a table.
it
Could be a
moves.
table.
It moves in a certain way through the double slits, like in a fan-like motion,
Right.
or it doesn't go straight on through.
Just think of it as a gun.
Mhm.
Two guns.
Mhm.
One is shooting. Let's just say one gun, right? It shoots particles towards a wall that has two slits on it.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
So when you do that, let's imagine a video camera videotaping this particle traveling towards the wall, towards the two slits, right?
Mhm.
When it's not being observed, when this particle is not being observed, it travels and it hits and it goes and it becomes a particle and it hits towards the slit. But when it's being watched or observed, I believe it becomes a wave, like water, like in water.
Yeah, it fans out.
It fans out.
Kind of like the Wi-Fi icon, kind of like that.
Right,
Almost like a ripple effect.
right. And this has to do with atoms, neutrons, quarks. All this has to do with quantum theory. Quantum theory, just to I don't know too much about it. All I know is the tiniest little particles and atoms that we are all made of, including your table, your chair, your dog, your cat, yourself. Right?
And that actually makes a good point, because that makes particles and atoms and things like that, neurons or neutrons or whatever, all kinds of possibilities in different places, in different, I guess, in different
places.
times. Right.
So is a slit a time?
No, it's just a slit. It's just so that people understand that when it's being that gun's being is shooting out particles. That when people or someone sees that particle,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't let you look at it. It becomes a particle.
It like shies away.
It shies away.
It becomes an inanimate or adamant object.
Right. It could be either, because it just depends on what you're observing. And the reason why we're talking about that is because, like, uh, Travis, he went onto space, right? So just because he went onto space and he was out 5 days doesn't mean that for him it was 5 days, because it just depends where you are in time space.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right?
Because time travels at a much faster speed.
Yeah.
Well, actually, time isn't real. That's another thing.
Mm.
But to finish Travis's story, he was shot up in the air. Mike went back and he couldn't find his body. And then what happened?
Okay, well, he was up there, and he told us, he told the auditorium that they were healing his body, because I believe they hurt him so bad that I think that they felt bad and they picked him up and healed him for that 5 day period. I mean, for them, the human body is so complex. That's why I think, in my opinion, that they're so fascinating with us, but but they are so advanced in technology, so that doesn't make sense to me either. Um, I mean, it's interesting.
So okay,
Well,
so
I
he
think-
first met. Sorry, he first met the Grays. Actually, no. He first saw the Grays spacesuits that were hanging in the ship.
That's what he said
Right.
that they saw, but that the ship was transparent, that the floor was transparent, that he can see the galaxies in space and like the darkness and some like the twinkling
Of the
of the
stars.
stars and things like that. And there were transparent ships. There was like a hub or like a place within the ship.
Like a mothership.
Right. I think he was in a mothership.
Right. And
And
there were little ships inside the mothership.
that were transparent as well.
Right.
And that's where he met,
The spacesuits, and then the two or several Grays actually.
yeah, several grades. And those ones, they did talk to him telepathically to calm down. We're not going to hurt you, and that they were trying to, get him to calm down. But he was just dancing all over the place, all defensive, trying to,
Well, he was freaked out. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
on a
freaked.
station.
It's like, where am I? How come no one is giving me answers? Why can't you talk?
And they were scary looking,
I
and
can't
they
understand you,
weren't
yeah.
talking. So what it was is that what they looked like is like they had 3 to 4 fingers in their hands. They would wear bodysuits. They were gray. They had big heads, no nose, slits for a mouth, no ears, and they were short like children, like you said. And that freaked him out. And then he's like, "Oh my god!" He started freaking out and everything. And then the Grays went away because Travis was starting to throw stuff at them because he was so scared.
Hence the bodysuits. I think that their skin is so thin. That's why when at the crash in Roswell they hurt themselves. They died. They didn't make it because the ship like hit so hard. But that's another story. Like the aliens didn't want to get cut up or bruised or anything or even die because Travis was sloshing around, trying to protect himself, trying to
Right.
not have them
Well, he was in shock.
put their 3 fingers on them,
Right.
on
Exactly.
him.
So they went away.
They went away. He ran somewhere else to another part of the ship. Um,
And then that's when the Nordics showed up.
yeah, the chiseled body people,
A male and a female.
like blonde, very good looking, in blue suits. They didn't communicate telepathically like the other gray aliens did. So they were just kind of like calming him down, kind of like, and then they got this kind of like a space mask or some kind of mask, and they put it over his face to kind of get him to,
Calm down.
yeah, sleep basically,
Mhm.
and then they dropped him off.
Well, they took care of him.
Mhm.
I think
But
they
it's
fixed
weird
him.
because most of the time they try. Well, we've always been told they try to erase our memory of it. But some people are very strong. You
Right.
can't.
Yeah,
There
that's weird, right? Some people
Yeah.
don't remember and some people do.
Exactly. And speaking of telepathic, I was watching a video today. The Britain's Got Talent, and it was a boyfriend and a girlfriend. She's from Ukraine. He's British. They are standing on stage, and you really don't know, but this is their full time work.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the gentleman asked, "Can I go up to you?" And I think it's Rita Oro or
Oh,
Ora?
Rita Ora.
Rita Ora. I think she's the one that sits next to Simon because there's 4 of them. And she puts on a blindfold, the Ukrainian woman, and the British boyfriend walks over and says, "Judges, can I please approach your table?" He says, "Yes." And he asks Rita, "Can you please pull out your purse? And I need you to just pull out at random a few things." And she said, "Is that," he says, "so and so," which is the Ukrainian woman, "what am I holding in my hand now?" And she's got the blindfold on. They've already checked it. The blindfold is completely real because the 2 hosts in the back, they asked them to come out and look through the blindfold and make sure it was real. So he has the charger in his hand, but he doesn't say anything. And he's facing the judges. He's not facing the woman. She says, "Let me see," and she's putting her hands out, and she's got the blindfold on. He's holding that um, charger, and she says, "It looks like the charger." She's somehow they're sending each other information telepathically.
Oh, there's two people in this.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the man that's holding it, facing the audience and facing the judges, and his back is to her.
Is he wearing glasses?
I don't think so. I
Could
see him
somebody
wearing
in the
a face-
audience be telling him what it is? Like he could be reading somebody's like mouth and.
No, he's not the one. He's got it holding in his hand, facing the audience, but the judge, he's right there, standing with the
So he's
one
not
of the
viewing.
judges.
He can't see the audience.
He can see the audience.
So someone in the audience, like a friend,
Oh
could
no,
be
they
telling him.
even checked her ears. They checked her ears to make sure.
No, I mean,
she
talking.
didn't. No, no one.
Because
was
it's hard for
talking.
me to like believe that because there's magic tricks.
Yeah, but the one thing that got me
Yeah.
is he stood Simon up and he faced the lady,
Mhm.
and they had a list of 100 countries.
Mm-hmm.
And then they asked the judges, "Can you please pick one of the countries?" And someone said 97. She went, the one of the judges, and I think it was Rita Ora, slipped up the page, went to number 97. She said, "Don't say anything, don't do anything. When I tap your head, you're going to think about it, and I want you to think about that country the whole time I have my finger on your head."
Uh-huh.
And then when she's ready, she says, "Okay," and then she sends it off to the guy like this,
Oh, gotcha.
right? So the guy's facing the stage,
Yeah.
but he puts a board and a pen in Simon's hand, and he says, "I'm gonna put my finger on your head, and you're going to get a message."
You're kidding.
No, I was watching it today. You could pull it up. Britain's Got Talent.
Could Rita have told
No,
Simon?
no, she was there, mouth shut.
Wow.
Nothing, according to this video. And he tapped Simon's head, and then he let go of it. He goes, "Did you get the message?" He said, "Yes, I heard something." That's what Simon said. I'm like, okay.
Simon says.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, okay. So he tells Simon, "Write the name of the country that you heard."
Nice.
So he wrote the name on the board. Then they turned to Rita Ora on the stage and they said, "What was the name of the country you gave to Simon?" And she said, "Italy." I was like, okay, so let's see the board. The Simon's mouth looked like it could have dropped to the floor. And he's looking at the guy, he's looking at the girl, looking at the guy, looking. What in the world just happened right there?
So what do you think
he
it
was
is?
shocked. I don't know. I'd love to be able to see them.
Telekinesis is real, I think. I mean,
Well, the
It's
government
training.
hired a bunch of people to do to remote view.
Mm.
They had, I mean, I think they even made a movie about it, but it's a real thing where the government hired a bunch of people and did a bunch of testing on how people can remote view,
like MK Ultra. Is that
something like that. Yeah,
Mm.
but it's mostly just based on remote viewing, and remote viewing doesn't just stop at. You can close the door. Sorry, that's Gibby. That's also about how people can see, not just maybe on the other side of the door, but see in other
Across other universes,
planets,
other
the
galaxies.
moon,
Mm.
through space and time.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people believe that time is not linear the way we think about it. We think about time mostly as past, present, or future because that's how
Mhm.
we live, right?
Yes.
That's how we go on. We're born. That's our start. We go to school. We grow up. We get married. We go and become older. And then towards the end, when you're older, you go back to sleep. Right? You die. So that's how we think of time. It's in a linear time, past, present, and future. Really, what time is honestly not linear.
No, I believe that if you start think about how the span of our human life is, it's like a circle. I mean, it does end. Let's say you begin at the noontime, and your life as you go, and you you go from birth into toddler, into childhood, into teenagehood, into adulthood, and eventually, when you get to 11 o'clock, you're about. Let's say we can live to 100.
But remember, the clock, as you speak of it now, the way you're talking about time, was created by a man because we are taught to work, to go to school, to keep time. Hurry up, you're late. Gotta drop off the kids here, gotta pick up there, gotta go to this meeting. That's why I'm trying to tell you that time is not linear. Time, pa- past, present, and future, as how we know it, it's all happening at once, and takes me back to the whole particle and wave thing
Mm-hmm.
about quantum theory, that all possibilities exist at the same time. At the same time, like we don't disappear. We're always here, and that has to do also with the multiverse
Do you think
theory.
that? Okay, I'm gonna go a little deep on you here.
Uh-huh.
I know that we have like a clock, internal clock that we need to work and that we need to, do things in order to feel complete. In order to have some kind of purpose, we need to work to get there.
Right.
Do you think that maybe the Anunnaki um, turned us into slaves for their purpose?
Well, but maybe we want to say who the Anunnakis are.
Well, I guess it's like a Sumerian sort of, I guess like an alien god or something like that.
Well, the reason why we know about the Anunnakis is, in as we as humans, we know about them because the Sumerians have these Sumerian tablets. They wrote down the story. It's sort of is similar to what some of the stories are in the Bible, for example, in
The
the
flood
Christian
story.
Bible,
The flood story. It's very similar. I did a paper on that.
and Adam and Eve.
Mhm. Well, there was a flood, and there was fatalities and the cleansing of the earth and all that stuff, and then you know, uh,
So it's very similar.
yeah.
But the Sumerian tablets, this story was way before
Mm-hmm.
Christian. The Christian religion was born. So a lot of other religions are based on the Sumerian tablets. I don't know if anybody saw the movie The Fourth Kind. That touches a little bit under about the Sumerians. You should watch that movie. It's really good. So the Sumerians, who people, humans, wrote about the Sumerian gods, their gods that they knew as the Anunnaki, right? And they wrote them on tablets. And some of these tablets are in Europe in museums.
The creation tablets.
That creation tablets, creation of humankind.
Mm-hmm.
We were molded from mud. We played, and then we came to life, and things like that. And we are from the earth. And thank you, Bruce, for sharing.
Hi, everybody. Everybody in the
Hello.
chat. Thank
you
you,
for
Bruce.
coming.
Bruce, he likes to be called Batman.
Ooh, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting our little channel.
Thank you.
Well, back to the Anunnaki.
Yes.
I don't know. It's kind of like I kind of get the sense that the Anunnaki and the reptilians are not too far off.
From each other?
Yeah, I
Right.
think so. I don't know. To me, internally, I think they have like a connection because they see us as inferior.
Well, the Anunnaki, or the Sumerians drew the Anunnaki on walls, and they looked reptilian. They have like human, the bodies of tall humans.
Like a humanoid type
Yeah.
reptile with like yellow eyes or whatever color eyes,
Scaly skin.
Scaly skin, and then their faces are like a reptilian,
like elongated,
pointy,
almost like a dinosaur. I don't know.
right, like a dinosaur. That's interesting.
Kind of like the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Well, remember, we weren't necessarily made from, well, we were, according to what we're taught in the Christian faith. Before then, we had the Egyptians, their writing was actual uh, hieroglyphics and pictures because there was not any handwritten communication at that time. It was
Right.
all of pictures.
It was
Well,
a
and
big Pictionary.
exactly, and it was stories like the stories went down from people to people, from like parents, grandparents were telling their children, and that's how everything went. You know, like they didn't really have a way to write everything down except for stone or the walls.
Cuneiform was
Cuneiform.
cuneiform or cuneiform was the Sumerian pictograph or whatever
The writing.
the pictorial language or whatever. It kind of looked like little triangles. It's interesting.
Right? They would just use mud and like push in, and then that's how they would write. But that's how they got the story about the Anunnaki, who look like like the faces look like reptilian faces, right? And this Anunnaki, they came here, but there was already a form of a human on Earth already.
So how many years ago would they
Oh
say
God,
it is?
I don't know. We don't. Nobody really knows. We just know that it's a story of how everything started. The stories are way before the Bible was written and all the other religions were written, and I couldn't tell you. I could have to look it up. But the stories are very similar to, like, Adam and Eve. There was Enki and
And
Anu.
yeah.
So Anu sounds like Adam, and Enki is Eve. So there was the gods. There were all gods
And Leo.
and Leo. So there were like several people, or actually not people, but reptilians or Anunnaki, who came to Earth and saw that Earth had a sort of like an ape human type, right? That they could use to work. So what they came here for was for gold, because their planet, which is now people refer to it as Planet Nine or Planet X, their planet was having trouble with their atmosphere. So they needed gold, because gold is one of the best materials to use for
Like conducting.
conducting
Uh-huh.
electricity and also protecting from their sun. I'm not sure what their sun is. It might be our sun that they use, because it's the ninth planet, and they needed protection, so they came to Earth, and they saw that there were people here that looked like they could work. The only problem was that they didn't have the intelligence to follow orders, because they were like ape-like, right? So what did they do, Car?
Yeah, they basically like I don't know. They I think they destroyed them, and then they tried to make something in their image. I guess there was something like that.
But what they did is that they saw these humans, these primitive humans, and Enki used her DNA to combine it with the current humans that were there. They made the new human in a lab, and all this is on the walls, right? It's on the walls and on the Sumerian tablets that shows that there was a human, a primitive human combined with Enki's DNA, and they made the new human. The new human was able to follow directions, was able to be a slave, because they thought that the Anunnaki were their gods, right? And so they would feed them, and they would give them water, and they would give them shelter, but they had to work. They were slaves. Why? To mine gold. And it's said to be in Africa, and also where now currently is called Iraq, which used to be Sumerian, Sumeria, I think that's what it's called.
Sumer. Yeah.
Right. And so then that's where supposedly the new human started.
Yeah. They I
They
guess they were
combined.
made from the earth and from in their image and stuff like that. It was interesting. But we have a question by Bruce.
Right.
What does everyone think of China making another sun? I heard that they were making a moon. I don't know if
moon
they're
or a sun.
I don't know, but what I think about that is
Why?
well, supposedly is to keep I guess, like the streets lit
Energy
to
level.
save energy.
It's
Oh
energy level.
yes, I
You
heard
have
about
level,
this.
one source of power, I guess. But in my opinion, I think it's more like control, more like control over the people, using less. I don't know.
Well, when a country or the world want to become one, let's say they want to have one currency, they want to have an electrical company just be one electrical company. That's a monopoly, right?
Mhm.
I think some things are good about it, and then some things are bad as well when it comes to. Because if everybody's together, maybe everyone will work together as a team. I'm thinking.
The only thing with making something is, what are you making it out of?
Well,
That would be the next
Bruce says
question.
it's a moon. What, Bruce? Do you know what the moon is made out of? How are they making it?
I don't know, paper mache and I don't know. That's what I would do.
Well,
But
we have so much solar. I mean, when you go to Las Vegas, they have
Right.
one of that. Oh, it's so bright when you go there in the daytime, because they have this big mirror
oh yeah,
set up against all of that, set up to the sun to grab every bit of energy into those solar
in one
panels.
section. Yeah,
in one section.
we see it every time we go to our fourth pair babe's house, Angie. It's crazy.
It is.
But
It's so. It's like, what is happening there? Because sun carries radiation, right?
Right.
So
But
how?
we're protected. The Earth is protected from the radiation.
But how they're actually harnessing it at how much more rate though?
Well, they're
That
saying that
would
by
be-
2020, China wants to eliminate the cities after dark. They're hoping. I'm reading it off of an article on Time magazine. Scientists are hoping to hang the man-made moon above the city of Chengdu, the capital of China's southwestern Sichuan province, according to a report in Chinese state media. The imitation celestial body, essentially an illuminated satellite, will bear a reflective coating to cast sunlight back to Earth, where it will supplement street lights at night.
Yeah, but what is that? So you're sublimating, right? Is that what it is?
So what they're trying to do is just trying to save money and not use electricity anymore. I mean,
Well-
it's a. I don't know. I don't know the details about it. I'm not a scientist, just like Bruce said. Like he has no clue either. But I mean, it could be a good thing and it could be like a bad thing. How are people gonna react to this?
I
Like,
don't know. I don't think it would good on like a couple of parts. Um, I mean, first of all, it's gonna be annoying at night when you're trying to sleep. And then second of all, in my opinion, what about the birds? What about
but
the
I don't think it's
animals?
gonna be on all the time. They're gonna use it as a light bulb type.
Think about this. Already Scandinavia
Mm-hmm.
and those areas do have time frames, even in Alaska, where it does not get dark.
Exactly.
It stays daylight.
And people get
all
used
the
to it.
time. Yeah, they do. But what I've heard Alaskans say, and I've heard Scandinavians say, that it kind of drives you mad in a way, because
That means that everybody would be going crazy. That
It's-
makes no
it's
sense.
kinda
People
like-
adapt.
yeah, but you're constant, and it only happens in certain months.
I think
I'm-
you can adapt to things. We're human. We're strong.
I think you get dark
Yeah.
every 9 days or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
because-
something like that. It's kind of like
yeah,
I'm living on Jupiter or something. Like that one full orbit is 8 days or 9 days or something. It's so weird.
it is.
But
And- but it would be interesting. I'd like to
Mhm.
go and visit there during these
It's
times.
67 days.
67. Well, that's only what, a little over 2 months.
So 80 days of uninterrupted daylight. So 80 days.
oh man.
80 days.
Yes, but people we become accustomed to stuff. We're strong. We are very adaptable human race. We really are.
Well, I think the people in those areas probably adapt very well, but there's some people that say let's say you come from here and you move there.
Well, that's like
It
anything. It's
takes
like you
probably-
drinking your water and you didn't like the water in China. Like, it made you sick.
I think it would take us a little bit more to adapt to that.
I
Then it
think
would.
I think we're very strong. I mean, I give the human race a lot of like props. Let me tell you, because we've been through some major stuff and we've
Mhm.
survived through it.
Oh yeah, and if you think about it, how was life able to be created all these years and sustained? I mean, let's say for instance the Adam and Eve story. Let's just use
Okay.
that piece.
As an
How
example.
how many people were created just from Adam and Eve to start a human race? And how many years do you think Adam and Eve would have to live and their subsequent?
I wouldn't even know. I since I don't believe in that, let me take it like in a scientific way. I'm gonna say impossible.
Yeah, I mean,
especially when they only had sons. How did they make babies?
I have no idea.
Right, and that's why I think that religion and politics is very. It's
Well,
kind
I don't
of.
think it's religion. I don't think it's religion of politics. I think it's religion and science.
Well, it's religion because you're
Yeah.
talking about
But you have
Adam and Eve, right?
The alternate is science. The science has their own way of thinking about how life was created too.
Well, yeah. I think it's
It is.
more than that. There's millions of people on Earth that every one of them have their own beliefs and their own way of thinking of what they believe in. Like we were just talking about the Anunnaki, right? The
Mhm.
Anunnaki and the Sumerians. The Sumerian tablets were written before religion, other religions were
Mhm.
written. So like it just depends on what you believe in and what's comfortable with you. Like some people believe on Adam and Eve. Okay, how did they make babies if they only had sons? Right? So I mean, you
Yeah.
can ask a lot of questions that way. And then too, the Sumerians. Okay, so Sumerians were around. They knew about the
Mhm.
Anunnaki. How did they know about the Anunnaki? Okay, this is really strange. The Anunnaki, I mean, the Sumerians, on the wall drew pictures of our solar system. They included Pluto, and they didn't know what was up there. Pluto was tiny. It's not even a planet now. So I mean, how do you explain all these like ancient things that are written by our ancestors and they knew a lot, like the pyramids? We were watching about the pyramids on how like that pyramid, the width of the pyramid is equal to the equator. They knew about the equator. They knew how big the Earth was. They knew how many planets were there. I mean, it's crazy. Sometimes the pyramids, they've seen that they have some kind of solar or like heat inside them. It gives out heat in certain spots, and I just think we don't give our human race enough credit.
There's yeah.
Right?
I think that the pyramids were powerhouses, and that I heard that there were kind of like holes very deep, like all the way down in the pyramid. For what? For what reason? Was it like something to represent the tomb? Was it a representation of something? People think that it's like somewhere where energy.
Yeah, the power
Fills the
from
pyramid,
the
yeah.
core,
Mhm.
from the core of the earth. We get a lot of power from that.
Well, we have Andy on chat, and he says the Anunnaki are an allegorical myth. So he doesn't believe, obviously, in the Anunnaki, which is fine. That's why I'm saying, like, everybody believes in different things, and that's why we try to, like,
Yeah, I
Open
mean,
it.
general
it's
here.
good to have
Yeah,
a healthy amount of skepticism, and
And we want to know.
yeah, and that's why we're here to
Yeah.
question things and to throw.
We want to question everything because we know nothing. I know nothing. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know anything, and I'm a sponge, and I want to learn, right?
Well, that's why we throw around ideas and not ideas, but like
What we hear.
You know, what we
Open up the power of discussion because everybody everybody out there has a different opinion.
And everybody's opinion is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
It's important,
It
and
helps
we
each of
treasure
us
it.
understand.
Yeah.
It helps everybody understand what's going on, how things are interpreted, the way people interpret them, the way their research in life helps them too. Remember, the Egyptians and the Africans were probably one of the oldest of beings here on Earth, and the hieroglyphics, the picturesque.
I mean, we see them in the United States.
Yes. And even in the Mayan and Incan temples, you have those as well.
Right.
It's not just the Eastern Hemisphere for us, it's also our hemisphere. And
Right.
this land was well inhabited before Christopher Columbus.
Right.
And if you look at each and every country, and this is something I've always believed, if you just look at a map and you look at each country and their edges, and you look at each continent and its edges, what matches? So I remember hearing that there was like a big earth shattering, like earthquake.
Okay.
And it broke us up into the continents that we know today.
But
it was one big, huge land mass.
the Pangea. Pangea.
Yeah. One huge land mass.
And I'm glad you bring up that point, because how in the heck did people or our ancestors make pyramids that line up all the way around Earth?
With the it's on the equatorial line.
How did they do that though? How did they know? Do you think it was because before Earth was separated, like you said, by whatever, like this thing that happened that separated the continents? You think they were together before, and the ancient people were able to communicate with each other and give each other the plans on how to make a pyramid that exact same size? Or how do you think they communicated?
I think it was all one language. We don't know what kind of language. If it was the hieroglyphic. I think it was, this whole planet had one language.
Right.
And then you had the people from the north coming down, you had the people from the south coming up, and then all of a sudden it's, I want to break up the lands. Once the land masses were defined, and slowly but surely, look at the Grand Canyon. How many years do you think it took for that canyon to be that deep, that wide, and that's happened in the whole world.
And
That
how
happened
much
in the whole
water
land.
had to create so much erosion or like in the walls, kind of like how they see at
The Sphinx.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
kind of see like a little bit of erosion. There's like a
So it's almost like the land was underwater, and then land was created, like they talk about Atlantis, how Atlantis is underwater, and people have seen it and they've gone down to it, and
But people say that it was an actual place, at Atlantis, and there were actual people there that were very advanced, which I believe, because look how quickly we've advanced with technology, right, and science and everything, and especially with the internet. That's how we communicate with each other. That's how we learn from each other, just like we're doing now. We're communicating with people on chat, and people here in front of each other, and the others are just watching and they're not chatting. So like communication, it was really, really technology was really advanced in this place, whatever it was called. People call it Atlantis. And how did we find out about this place? Through Plato, right? He wrote about it.
Yes.
So do you think that that's a true place where people were advanced and our ancestors were advanced at one time, like way more in technology than us?
well, I think Egyptians were even advanced.
But I believe, or I've heard as well, that there were many many times where our Earth has reset many times, and like either we got smarter or we got dumber. I don't know.
Well, it's not that we're dumb or we are dumb. It's just we're ignorant to the knowledge,
Yeah,
right?
it's maybe because we skipped a generation. I don't know, but it's funny to think about. But like it's stuff like that
Right.
happens. That
Right.
we recycle ourselves planet wise or universe wise.
Do you think we recycle ourselves because we tend to kill our planet?
I think so.
Yeah, we're most definitely doing something.
Right.
I mean, what are all these energies that we're trying to create that are unnatural, that are nuclear, that are this or that? A lot of that.
Everything comes from nature, really.
Yeah.
I mean, even Earth and galaxies and our universe have all these things like nuclear.
And inside there's gases.
Right.
And
That's
fire.
all. Everything's from
everything.
nature. But the thing is the way how people abuse it.
Yes.
Right.
And
that's where it is.
Yeah, and like you said, that we do adapt to whatever we're placed in, whatever, even the creatures in the sea, they adapt to the methane gas and the water and the pressures of the Mariana Trench or whatever.
Right.
But Bruce said that if you look at Stonehenge, depending on how the sun is, that it's like a giant clock. Yeah, it's like the summer solstice, the equinox, the summer, whatever.
And a lot of people now, modern people, go and visit this place because it is a place that's very unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's very ancient. They don't know, really, honestly, people don't know why it was made or put there. But I mean, these stones are supposed to be like huge, right? Like
I think Stonehenge could lay on the equatorial line, no?
I think it's connected to some type of the stars. I think because like the pyramids is Orion. There's the three pyramids. It's the way Orion is placed. And then I just want to go back to Irish whiskey. He said Indians tell stories of the Anunnaki. They're called the sky people. The translation is the sky people. Yeah, I wanted just to say that because the Sumerians said that the Anunnaki came from the sky. And so they would call them the sky people. Anunnaki means sky people.
Well, another thing, if you go to the observatory in Los Angeles, Hollywood area, they actually have a sundial right in the front before you even walk in. And I'm telling you, if you look at your phone and you look at your phone and you say, okay, it's this time, you walk up to that sundial. And I looked at it and I said, okay, the time says this. And you walk up and you look up at this part of the sundial and you look at this part of the sundial. It tells you the hour and the exact minute that's on your phone. And I've been there and I said, no way.
Well, then, but remember, the clock was made by us to track time. And time to us in linear form was the way we would keep track is by the sun because of what was daytime and what was nighttime. So that kind of makes sense. But I wanted to tell you about the Stonehenge stones. They're known as sarcens, are up to 30 feet or 9 meters tall and weigh 25 tons each, which is 22.6 metric tons. They are widely believed that they were brought from Marlborough Downs, a distance of 20 miles, which is 32 kilometers to the north. So they carried these like 30 feet tall, 25-ton rocks through 20 miles. But don't you think that's crazy?
Almost like,
how did they do that?
It's almost like Easter Island. How did they do that too? The those huge statues. What is it? The Maui?
Oh yes, they're actually like half bodies with like the heads, and some have hats on them, and not one is equal to another. So they're actual unique people.
I think they represented
not people but stones.
They represented either like in their cultural sense, like what they believed in, or like
they're called the Moai.
Why?
Moai. That's what they call them. Yeah. There's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, there's some that are facing out towards the ocean. I think it's, it's part of the whole powerhouse situation. It's to create like some kind of magnetism. There's like spots in this world. I think, that there's ley lines or some kind of energy
Mhm.
energy lines or
Right.
something all around the planet. You know, that
But
we
why are
don't-
they connected? Do you think it was because it happened before the the continents were separated? I mean, how in the world did people communicate with each other? They didn't have the internet.
I think because we're all connected.
Yeah, we all were, but I don't think if the land was together, there was one form of communication. There was no. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, there was. I think there was all one form of communication. The land separated, and different areas had different climates. And then you had an opportunity to say, these people. It's interesting. How come Asians are built the way Asians are built, and Caucasians are built the way Caucasians are built, and Africans are built? What is in that environment that different beings are being created differently?
I mean, why do
After-
people look differently? Like,
After the breakup of the
I think
continents.
adaptation.
well, all human
Adaptation.
beings, we all are the same. We have 2 eyes, we have a nose, we have a mouth,
Yes.
we have 2 ears. So we're all the same.
Survival
Yes.
of the fittest.
But how did you climatize? What was it? The climate that helped?
I believe
create
so.
It's the
Adaptation.
climate.
Adaptation. That's
Yeah.
why I'm telling you the human race is very strong. But I
Yes.
wanted to mention that Bruce or Batman said, real soon with the way this world is changing, we might not have a north or south pole,
Mm-mm.
and will totally change everything.
I think we're off
It
by
is.
like 2 degrees, right?
We're off by 2 degrees. I
So
remember,
far.
and they mentioned that an airport, I believe Alaska. I'm not too sure, but an airport had to change their lanes 2 degrees to the south because the pole is changing little by little,
Mm.
not a lot by a lot, but like little by little it's moving, and it is changing, and things are supposedly going to flip, and things will be backwards, like north will be south and south will be north.
It's like, for instance, we live on a fault, and California is all different faults. Well, we've always been told here in California that Los Angeles will become the new San Francisco, and San Bernardino, or maybe even closer to Arizona,
Right.
will be the new ocean.
Say hi, Andrea.
Hello, Andrea.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Hello.
subscribing.
We appreciate it, and thank you to everyone for subscribing
Thank you
and
for-
hitting that like button.
And for being here.
We are
Yes,
live in
we
the
enjoy
in the U.S. Of
We're in
A,
California.
California.
Yes.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Like, why is it that everything's changing so much? Do you think it's because human beings are changing Earth with the way we treat humans? I mean, sorry, Earth?
Yes.
How?
Yes. Well, let's talk about.
Hi, Diary of the Mind.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. I think that we don't do ourselves any good. How are we getting rid of waste? What are we doing to people who actually have to drink out of vile areas? I mean, we're
not
not
just
making
humans, it's animals.
Exactly. They're dying off as well. And we have many, many different forms of animals, and they're not even able to live. Why are they on an extinction list? Why
Right.
can't we find them anymore? It's
Well,
really
because
odd.
we're termites.
But you know what?
We're like,
Yeah.
We,
But the sad thing is we're not termites just so we can be termites. We're termites and we grow like this and like this. And we learn, and our minds start developing more and more. Like, what if I do this? What will happen here? What if I do this?
we're
what will
curious
happen
beings.
here?
That's who we
Mhm.
are. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how we've developed so many different technologies now because we're curious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, we that's how evolution goes, right?
Yeah, and I think then it's been a success story overall. Now, in the breakdown of things, what's going to happen to that success if we don't take care of the earth? Just take care
Diary of the Mind says 11:11. Make a wish. Make a wish. And Andrea, I don't know if you say Andrea or Andrea. Andrea probably. I have a degree in archaeology. Past animals have died off for many different reasons. Climate changing dramatically, people overhunting, catastrophic events.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's because people within their own space, they think they have a lot of space. They think that, they're, unfortunately, we're very selfish, but
We have to survive.
we have to survive. We have to, like, eat or be eaten kind of
Mhm.
world.
Right.
It's very tough.
The doggy dog.
There's social, you know, I guess, like, society, cultural stuff that we have to deal with as a human being. I mean, there's a lot of things that come into play with that. And then,
But that's what makes the world go round and round, and why it's so beautiful, and why we're so interesting, and why we're not bored ever, because everyone has different opinions, they have different beliefs, they have different
thought
cultures.
processes.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that's what I love about Earth
we're
and
different,
humans.
but we're connected somehow.
Mhm.
Well, it's like she said, like Diana said. I mean, we all look different in different continents, right? We're different. We slightly do differently, but we all have two eyes,
It's
one
the
nose,
same.
one mouth. We're the same. We're all connected.
We do things, the things that are required for us humans to live, we do similarly. We have different diets based again on the area and the climate and what is available in those areas. You learn how to live for yourselves and for the people in your areas. It's and it's just
But I
we
think
can
we
go
need
there.
to look beyond our area, right?
Yes.
We need to care about everyone on Earth, including Earth, right?
Well, if you think about how we are, look at the tsunamis that happen. Tsunamis are very devastating, not only for the area that's
Right.
having the tsunami, but they were and have been so worried because things do show up on the United States shores from Japan's, Thailand's.
We're connected.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't
so
ignore.
the whole system is carrying this. So there's cars floating in the ocean across the United States, and all this debris comes over from every which way, and you just like chips on the bottom of an ocean, and the oil comes up.
It's
What's it
sad.
doing to the animals? Not only us, not only the humans, but the sea animals,
Right.
the sea creatures.
Mhm.
What's all becoming of them? When I went up north, and I have part of my family that lives in Northern California. They live off the coast north of Eureka, south of the Oregon border. And this is a little area, and they go fishing. Now, you and I know what a fish looks like. We know what mackerel looks like. We know
Yeah.
what stingrays look like. We know what whales and everything looks like. Well, this fish looked like it had been to war because it had the, like camo. It looked like it was
Camouflage.
camouflage. And it had black spots, it had green on it, but absolutely no fins. And what they call it, and it is not an eel, it is a white fish. I tasted it, it's like cod. They call it a monkey face eel.
Hmm.
We do not have anything like this in Southern California unless you see an eel. But they had it in Northern California, and they kept saying, "Oh, you want to try it?" Well, I'm looking at the live fish sitting in there, and I'm like, it looks kind of
Evolution.
deformed. It looks
Evolution.
very deformed.
I don't know the evolution of adapting
Right.
to
Mhm.
to a different environment as the
Yeah.
Earth or the poles or the
It's adaptation, and then like you can see on
Change.
chat, it's Batman says it is Andrea says about racism to answering Bruce. He says with the way the world is changing, then why is there so much hate, violence, and racism? That's a great question, right? And Andrea says racism exists. Well, it's complicated, but one idea comes from thousands of years ago, where we were very much about being in our own tribes, and outsiders were dangerous. So it was a way of survival, right?
Mhm.
To protect your tribe, your people. So Bruce says, yeah, but I mean, racism is bad. It should go away. I mean, we need to let it go. It needs
I
to
agree.
end.
I
It's
agree.
disgusting, Andrea says, and we agree 100%.
We live on the same planet, therefore we should help each other as humans.
Right.
And help each other out, help a girl out, help a boy out, whatever.
Yeah. And
help,
racism comes from ignorance, you guys.
or just help just learn to appreciate the small things like an ant, and then you can go from there. Like
That's Hinduism.
be
That's Hinduism.
cognizant of where you're stepping. Be more open. Uh, Appreciate the smaller things. Learn to look and observe. Maybe that's why the aliens do what they do, because they're taking the time to smell the roses and appreciate all the stuff around them,
And on
including us.
in space and
Yeah.
their yeah.
Yeah, because listen, racism in the United States has been perpetuated, I think. I think a lot of other countries, they do pay attention to it, but it's not like we're subjected to it, I think, more here in the United States than anywhere else. But every nation has a little piece of it. But if we understand our fellow man, I'm Caucasian. I was raised by a Caucasian mother. You're raised Hispanic, but I don't care.
But you
My environment. It's your environment.
but you're not Caucasian 100%.
No,
No one's 100% of anything.
So
It's a
many
melting pot.
It's a
mixes.
melting pot, and that's what makes everything
Yeah.
so rich and colorful and fun and unique
And learning different cultures.
yes, that's so much
it's
fun.
interesting.
That's what's interesting
Embrace it.
about these sort of topics that make your mind go like, because
they blow it.
because it kind of
your
brings us
mind.
together as a community,
Right.
and that's why I'm so adamant about that, like about speaking my mind and getting my thoughts across with being respectful, of course.
And that includes the belief that we believe in aliens,
Mhm.
right? So many people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you go do ghost hunting and you do videos and you go and talk to spirits and you believe in aliens. How funny! What a joke!
We're
How
all
can you
aliens.
believe in that?"
We're all aliens. We're all in this the same solar system.
But you know what? We do accept their opinions.
And
Not
you know,
as our own, but
Mhm.
we do listen to them because every day we need to learn from each other. We need to respect each other.
and they what's said is the ancient, like if you talk about dinosaurs, the closest to what lived here millions and millions of years ago that walked the earth, as far as dinosaurs, you would consider to be reptiles. I believe hippos and elephants were also part of it, in my belief.
Part
As
of
far
what?
as in the dinosaur realm, if
Oh.
you have anything carried over to now, I believe elephants were carried over. I believe
Birds, for
reptiles, birds in a smaller form, because remember how big birds were.
Yeah.
Birds are in a smaller form. So these um, beings, the aliens, of course, they have to have been made millions and millions of years ago. I mean, we have so many carryovers because you think crocodiles, and what is that Japanese one? It's called
What is it?
It walks and it's big and huge. I forget the name. I'm having a brain fart
It's an
right
animal.
now.
It's okay.
It's not an animal. It's a reptile,
Oh,
and it's a dragon.
Oh,
dragon. It's
dragon.
the Komodo dragon. Yeah.
That's
even to me.
it's reptile. It's a reptile.
Yeah, it's a
It's
reptile.
warm, right? Can you
Thank
please
you.
open the door?
So
I'm dying here.
I'm sorry, I'm stripping down.
Take
This will
it
be
off.
it.
Take
This'll
it
be
off.
But it's if we have Komodo dragons, do you think technically we have a dragon walking the earth? Yes.
Yes.
It's called the Komodo dragon.
I think things were made larger than life a long
Before,
time
yeah.
ago in the Jurassic
And they
Triassic
shrunk them
period,
down.
if you believe in such things. But
A lot of people don't believe in dinosaurs, so
Yeah.
we just want to say that.
I think it was, there were things that were made a lot bigger, and as the Earth recycled itself over and over again, and the universe and the solar system and all that stuff, things got smaller to make more space
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
I
make
think
more
so.
time.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah, that's a great
that the universe, the solar system,
point.
the energy, dark matter, it all condensed somehow or expanded or whatever.
Yeah.
And as far as racism goes, every nationality on the earth has put forth an effort to add their own piece of history. And that's what we all have to respect, because when you put forth the smarts to create a history for your people and you cross the lines and learn that history, because that history could be important to you, where you can learn
Well,
from that.
history to me is important to
Mhm.
know about others' history.
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah.
Because we can learn from it. We can learn
It's
from
true.
it ourselves. Like it's not just my people. Like, oh, my people from Mexico, my culture, my. It's like, here, have it. Enjoy the tacos. Enjoy the beads. Enjoy like our pyramids that are in Mexico. I mean, I want to share my culture with others, and,
Yeah.
and people should want to share theirs and should want to experience and learn. I'm saying that. That's my opinion. You don't have to listen to me, right?
Same with me.
It's totally up to you what you guys want to believe. And I just want to mention, girls, that on chat people are saying they believe in aliens. But Quartz believes in aliens, and Andrea said kimono, but really was Komodo, right? Komodo dragon. And she says, "LOL." I got the spelling wrong. That's funny, Andrea. But I mean, it's true. I mean, people who are here, they're watching us because they're interested in what we're talking about, right? These are the type of things that we want to talk about in our chat. Like Parachat is going to be about the paranormal, but yes, about the unknown and the known things as well that people don't understand and want to hear more about, right?
Well, I think Parachat means anything outside of our normal thinking range is paranormal. Aliens included.
Not just ghosts or
No.
or aliens
No.
or anything that we deem to be I guess the regular paranormal or alien or something different. People get scared, but
But that's okay.
that's okay.
It's okay if they get scared. I get scared sometimes when I go ghost hunting. I may not say it or show it. I be all cool and stuff, but sometimes it's scary. We've been through things that we don't understand. I mean, just this past weekend, right? We went to a cemetery, and you guys will see it on our next video. And we heard a voice coming from nothing, from space, and it said hello to us. And we all turned, we all looked, nobody was there. I ran, I looked around to make sure no one was there or someone else wasn't playing a trick on us. Like, we are all connected even when we can't see each other.
No, I'm gonna tell you, I've never heard anything like
Me
that.
neither. I've never.
This is
in
my
life.
second time I ever heard a voice in my ear. But I'm telling you, from where I was sitting, it was closer to Diana, but I still heard it loud enough to understand that
Yeah.
it was another lady, and you know, none
It
of
was
us,
a lady's voice.
yeah, none of us were speaking, and we were just like we all stared at each other in unison. We all heard it, like we all went.
You know what?
Reacted.
I thought it was about 10 to 15 behind me in an area, and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, there's nothing beyond that area right there where I heard it. And I was like, no, that, and
But I've never heard this before. Never, ever, ever have I ever heard a voice saying hello coming out of nobody's mouth.
Like
Just
midair.
in space, midair, and that all four of us heard it at the same time. That's never happened to me.
and we all peeked up because we're like, no, we didn't hear that. And that's how shocked we
Yeah, we
were.
were like,
No, that didn't happen. We didn't just hear it. Cass all of a sudden starts running over there.
I just want to tell you guys that Diary of the Mind says that looked like someone just walked in front and blurred for just a moment your right to left. So it would probably be, raise your hand, from this side to that side. Said that that woman is hanging around because she's looking for something. That's Bruce says that.
So there's a woman, huh?
There's a woman hanging around.
Well, you know, I did announce something the last time we were on because we've been getting a lot of messages. And
mostly from Diana's family.
yes, and specifically, my father passed about a year and a half ago. And he's been pretty adamant to speak with me. And it's just been very shocking. I am ill. I'm expected to have a surgery
Monday.
And they're taking the cancer completely out.
Get it out of there.
Yeah, and that's mostly from my mom's side of the family. My father had his own bout with it, but it's just very shocking of how much I feel. It's not just him saying the words, and what shocked me and what gave me the most pause and the most emotion is that same time when we went to that cemetery later that evening, and I won't tell you where we went. He literally said, and Carmen did not have any way of knowing this, what was being said on our side.
Yeah.
So you will see how she did it in our videos.
People are sending you prayers. People in chat.
Thank you very
Bruce,
much.
Diary.
I appreciate any love and support, prayers, anything you can send
Monday
my
morning, she's going
Thank
into
you.
surgery Monday morning.
Yes.
So just think of her and that all
Thank
that
you.
gross, horrible cancer gets out of
Yes,
there.
and I do appreciate
Kick his butt.
anything and
Yes.
everything anybody shoots my way. I do
Yes.
appreciate it all. So this one statement came out of Carmen's mouth is, I want to talk to me. And when I heard that, it went, whoa. What's really going on? It's not just, hi, baby. You know, he's not giving me the name, but the way I'm interpreting.
Well, right
the
now that you're
feeling-
talking about it, the K2 is going to red, and it hadn't gone to red the whole time. It was staying at yellowish orange, and now it's going to red.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well,
I think sorry about that.
yeah.
I think that they knew that we were gonna be on Friday, and then I don't think there's any form of space or time or I don't know. That's why we're talking about this. But like
Yeah.
I think that they were already here a day before, and my dog was acting funny. Like,
Oh yeah.
Where is he anyway?
And my dog acts funny sometimes when I walk around at nighttime. Or sometimes I hear this growl out of nowhere, and I'm wondering what in the world does this dog see that causes an issue, but she's very skittish. So that could be it, or it could be that she sees things at some point.
but
So-
but you interact with her on the daily, so you kind of know her
Mhm.
Personality.
personality,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
temperament, her happy times, her sad times,
Exactly.
all of that, and you bonded with her.
Yeah. So
So
her
yeah.
dresses.
So thank you guys. Thank you
Thank you
for the
very
prayers.
much.
We're totally
I
gonna need
support it.
them, right?
Yes.
So
thank
we'll
you very
all
much.
be praying. I'm gonna put out a social thing on social media, and I'm gonna get a bunch of people praying for you that day.
Yes.
Right,
Thank you.
Tar?
And I
Yes.
do appreciate anything and everything. Like I said.
Exactly. Right now,
It
it's
is
all for you,
helpful.
doll.
Yes. Thank you.
So going back to this extraterrestrial thing, I want Carmelita to tell her subscribers what she and I have seen.
So,
Go start from the very first time we saw stuff and into
Okay.
the latest.
well, I have to rewind.
Rewind.
Go back in time. I mean, like it started with like like a light in the sky, like not just any light, but like an orange orb kind of sphere that kind of floated around. And you know how kids these days they like to shoot their drone up in the air and things, but you have to have some kind of what is it, like a certificate or something?
Yeah, if you are something like 20, if the actual drone is more than $25 at purchase, you have to license it like a
A
vehicle.
license.
You have to register it with a certain department. I forget the name of the department, so if anybody knows, let me know. So it could be a drone, but
We know what drones look like, though.
yeah, they have flashing lights. We have a drone here, and I've flown it at nighttime. The GPS ones are very good, but I don't see, unless a drone has a flash on it that could stay like you're using a camera, like a video camera, and the camera stays lit, or you're trying to film a movie in the dark, so you have the lighting so that the camera could catch the picture. But how can it stay like that and turn red? That
I mean,
That's
we're
pretty
pretty
neat.
smart girls. We know what a freaking
We know what a plane looks like. We know
a bird.
we know what a bird is. We know what a helicopter is. We have all seen a satellite, go slowly
Yeah.
and then ascend. We've seen those things, at least in my from my perspective. I look up a lot and I try to,
Well, we look up a lot because I'm in love with the moon.
yeah.
I love looking at the moon. And so when we first saw something,
We seen like a orange orb, kind of like going up and down, kind of like floating up and down like this, like from behind the neighbor's house, and we were like, "What the heck is that?" Like we know what a drone is. Like they usually have like little lights at the bottom, multicolored, and then they just kind of like whiz by. Either you hear a noise or you don't. I mean, it just the technology, I guess, advances with the drone, the drones and stuff. So we would see this thing kind of going like this, up and down like this. It was weird. We were like, what is happening? And so we videotaped it. And then,
and of course, it's sucky, the video.
oh man,
Our phones were horrible.
watching it didn't do it justice. Like the phone technology didn't do any justice to the. It looked like a fireball. It looked like a flame. It looked like one or two kind of going like this, like it was like some kind of fire show, like you were at Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey or something. And we were like, "What the heck was that? What? I can't unsee that." And so we started seeing like a series of like, I guess what looked like stars or whatever, but like you would see them, they were bigger and brighter, and then they would all of a sudden they would move randomly to a different spot.
And they changed colors. Like one was pink, one was purple, another one was red, one was green. They were giving us a show. They were putting on a show for us.
And then like they were trying to like be very discreet. At least the twinkling lights one, but the other one, yeah, we were pretty scared. We were like, "What the heck is that?"
I was scared. Even there's videos here on the Sisters with channel where you can hear me going, I'm scared, car, I'm scared, because I was really tripping out.
I'm like, shut up, and I'm recording.
It's
Like like what are sisters for? But
because I didn't understand. My mind couldn't comprehend this thing.
it was so weird, Diana.
Well, what is the meaning of a red orb?
It was different colors.
Like an orange.
They
Oh,
were
it was a
all different.
multicolor.
No, each one had its own color.
Wow.
But at first, they looked like stars. But eventually, little by little, they got closer and closer, and they started flashing. Remember?
We had 4 incidents and we've seen different things, unidentified flying objects in the sky. First, it was the 2 fire orbs. That was in 2010, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've seen them again in 2013 or something. And these were the supposed stars. It was like a series of like I think 5 of them or 3.
Five.
Yeah, and they were just kind of hanging there, and then all of a sudden you see them like move in a different direction. We're like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden you see this flash, and then they move again, and I'd be like, what
It's
the heck?
almost like
they
they're
would
trying
float.
to take pictures of the area for different
That's interesting.
to obtain information or to find out if there's someone sensitive.
It was like scanning,
Yeah.
like a scanner type of deal. It was really strange.
Google alien.
Yeah.
Google alien, I guess. I mean, it was really weird. And then we were tripping out about that because we saw them right above our house, which was even trippier. And then we thought we were going crazy, so then we called mom and we're like, Mom, come over here and look at this. She got to see the show too. And then eventually these stars moved away, but they moved away little by little and they ended up going up into space. They disappeared. And they were like, okay, well, I guess they're gone now. That was trippy. So then we're like, let's go get something to eat. And it was around 10:30 at night or so on a Saturday night, I believe. And then we started driving down the street, and then we saw another one over a bridge.
Yeah, and that one was different.
And that one, the video is really good. You guys can see it on our channel.
I think it's
here.
our video number 2, UFO video number 2 on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Sisters Wood. Check that one out. That one's probably the best one because
It's still very, very bad video.
yeah, all you hear is it's complaining, and the other one's going, "I'm recording. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared." Just going like this, but like the experience of it was like so weird. It was so vivid.
Because we're not meant to see that.
Yeah,
We're really not meant to see
I know.
that.
I believe that we're not meant to
We're
see
not
stuff.
meant to see it.
We're not meant to know things, and I do agree that Area 51 hides has some secrets, and we've been to the back gate, so
And they hide stuff because we were being followed by the guys in the white truck.
the camo dudes,
Yeah.
and the incident over the bridge, the UFO incident that we saw. We're just kind of driving around because we got food.
The beginning was us fighting,
We were fighting. We're like,
arguing.
just park it here, park it here. Okay. I was the one driving, and I didn't want to park it in the middle of an overpass during traffic just to film something. I don't want to. I'm not about to die. Okay. So, but it's a freaking UFO, and we were like, let's do it, right? And so we were going like this, right? And this thing, these lights, it kind of looked like 2 lights like this, like blue and almost like LED, where it was kind of like circling like this, and then floating up in the sky. It was weird.
Like traveling.
Yeah, traveling.
But that's our best video we have on this channel of the UFO. Because all the other UFO videos we have, they're really bad. You can still look at them, feel free. But you're just gonna hear us arguing and fighting and like sisters do, like, oh my God, did you get it? No, I didn't. Did you see it? No, I don't see it.
Yeah, Bob Lazar worked inside Area 51, and he actually was a whistleblower, and then he tried to get his story out, and then they scrubbed his entire identity.
They scrubbed his education.
Yeah, his education, him even working for Area 51.
Well, it was a secret before. Area
Uh-huh.
51 was a top secret government facility. Now people found it. Google Maps, they found it. It's there. Then the government came out and said, yes, it is there. It is a government facility, and it's supposed to be protected. People can't really go in there, right? So they finally admitted that it was there.
Wasn't the same thing like Roswell? Everybody
I don't know
says,
too much about Roswell. Can you tell us about it?
I mean, it's in New Mexico, isn't it?
Yeah, Roswell, New
New
Mexico,
Mexico.
July 4th, 1947,
Oh, that one, yes.
where the alien crashed.
Yes.
Crashed, and then there were alien bodies recovered from the crash site, and that there was, um, I guess, like a metal like material that that was found in the backyard. I don't know if it was uh, Betty and Barney, or
No,
was
that's
that
a
one?
different. It's different.
It was
Yeah.
around that time when they got abducted too.
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah. But it landed in someone's backyard. They found it, and then they tried to examine the material. There's an eyewitness that said that the material was very light, but like bendable and flexible, and that if you try to crush it, that it would bounce back to its original shape or material.
So it's kind of a metal, but it's kind of like silicone.
And really soft and bendable.
It
And
doesn't-
light.
It doesn't crumple up like foil or anything like that. So
Yeah.
It's more like silicone. You know how silicone,
Right.
then it just comes right back.
And so the newspaper and the government admitted it to be a spaceship with aliens in it, and it came out in a newspaper.
And then they said, "Oh,
The next day,
never mind. It was a weather balloon on July 5th." So,
Our government hides way too much from us.
oh no, July 8th. I mean,
July 8th. So July 7th is when it crashed.
Right. I got my dates wrong. Sorry, my bad.
We get everything hidden from us. Like we're either gonna go hog wild over it, or we're not gonna understand it, or they just rather know more than we do.
I should know this. I mean, July 8th is my birthday, for goodness sake.
Ooh, you guys, your birthdays
Yeah.
are coming up. I can't wait to party with you girls.
Yes, so be prepared because at the end of July, after I'm all better, we're going somewhere.
Heck yeah, we're gonna party. We're gonna
Yep.
super celebrate triple the time, quadruple the
Oh
time.
yeah, that's
We're gonna
be
celebrate
fun.
your life for sure. And Carmelitas.
Yes, and we're gonna go down to investigate and see what we can get. So
That's our party time.
yes,
Investigating.
it is.
That's
It is
one
really.
thing. Let me just tell you something. Our videos, if people watch our videos, there's some silliness in there.
Mhm.
But most of it, what drives us to get on video is evidence, right?
We're evidence driven.
Right. Sometimes people say they could be a little boring and repetitive because all we are after is the evidence, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to make them a little bit more fun. We're gonna try to do more exploring. We're gonna talk more about the area, more about the history of the area that we're exploring, and also do evidence. Because to me, to us as Parababes, as a group, what we are after is the truth.
Yes. And but wait a minute. I don't want to say that that's the only thing we do. Do not do that. We have some banter back and forth and the joking and even comments.
And we do have little disagreements here and there, and then we're like, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, let's agree to disagree, and that's the best team ever, don't you think?
Yeah. Because you know what? Everybody has a different opinion. So it's better to just say Diana has this opinion, Carmen has this opinion, Cass has this opinion, and Angela has her own opinion. So we've all given our opinions, and I don't think we have to fear each other in what we say.
Mhm.
So
We're very
the
open
disagreement,
with each
yeah,
other.
we don't disagree, and then we joke.
It's all
And then we
about
joke.
supporting each other and supporting those that are, I guess, like-minded individuals or those that seek the same thing we do. We support them as well. We go to their channel. We try to, listen,
We
observe, and report.
watch, we get involved. If people
Yeah.
are investigating live, we write down what we hear. We talk to people. This is how we've met some of the people that are on chat. Diary of the Mind, Bruce, everybody that's on here. I don't know if I've seen Andrea in another channel, but I mean we've seen most of the people on here in other channels, and that's how we meet people because we want to be part of the community. We
Yes.
want to learn from each other.
And
Purple ports too, right?
yeah, it's healthy to support each other, and hey, if you got 1K, that's awesome. I mean, if you got,
Who got 1K?
I don't know who got 1K, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that is like a huge accomplishment.
I'd be
Yes.
like,
Yay! Yeah, we're at
Yeah.
like 600 and something, right?
yeah,
And we've been talking about it because we've progressed so quickly and we're very thankful. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, and just ding that bell and you'll get every notification once you
Right.
hit that
Yeah.
ding.
And you're always gonna get different things from us.
Yes.
Like the other day, my sister and I. Okay, just so you guys know, Angie, our fourth parababe, she lives in Las Vegas. We are in Southern California.
Mhm.
So when she can, she comes over and she visits, and then we go and investigate with her. Or when we can, we go and visit her and investigate over there. We have something very special coming up with other paranormal investigators over in Vegas. We can't talk about it yet, but it's going to be good. And then, so when we get together, we, decide where we're going to go investigate and everything. And then when our energies come together, OMG, we
Yeah.
get a lot of like communication. Most of the stuff you do get to see on the videos, but there's a lot that you don't because then the video would be like 5 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if once we start getting, because I'm gonna tell you, our Calico video, the third piece of video that we put out there, and some of the photos that Cass and Carmen put into that video, I jokingly said, "Wow, our videos are getting better." I guess when we win our Emmy, we're going to have to thank the editors, Cass and Carmen, Cass and Carr, for making us look better. So those are the little things we try to say. It's like, what? Why would you say that? But it is. It's getting a lot better, and you
Well,
can see our
Do
progression.
you remember our first investigation? We used an app.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting apps down because a lot of people use apps. But honestly, this one app was like a free app, and
It was saying crazy
It was-
things.
I just didn't like it.
Yeah, and we actually one of like the K2 meter apps, it made a beat and sounded just in my ears. It sounded like Katie, and then we got a confirmation that there was a Katie.
yeah, we were kind of fresh up, like we're just kind of fresh, and
We're still very, very new to this.
we didn't have any like
Mhm.
tools. We kind of had like our ears on our phones and maybe some random apps that we kind of
No
tested.
spirit box.
We were like, we
We
didn't have
did get
a K2
EVPs
meter,
though. We got EVPs with our cell phone.
Yes.
but we work together as a group. We respect one another, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you go when you go on someone's channel, you respect, what they have to say. You listen, kind of like when you're at school.
Especially when you go to somebody's channel, you're there as a guest and you're there to support
Yeah,
that
be
person
nice.
that's having. But anyway, these aliens and these things that we saw, the best one we captured was the one that was like rotating like this.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It was like doing this thing. I don't know if you guys
Almost
can
like
see
a
me,
film, like running a film.
but it was really strange.
Like
it was really,
it was kind of like going like this,
and we followed it.
and we followed it all throughout the freaking like road.
Orange.
We were like, it's over there. It's over there behind the trees. Get it. We're like, we were so shocked, but like,
And then eventually it went up so high we couldn't catch it
Yeah.
anymore because it went up high into space. Like we saw it go straight up. We followed it.
I have a question, and maybe someone can answer this. When we go to space, we end up going out of that atmospheric barrier. When we enter back in through that atmospheric barrier, we burn like fire. How are their mode of transportation. How are we not seeing that ball of fire?
Maybe some ships are built for, like, I don't know, with
Maybe.
a protection barrier, and
Mhm.
some are not.
Could be.
Maybe that's why some crash and some don't. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to the poor aliens of Roswell that made them crash. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was some
Maybe
kind
they
of
were shut down.
intergalactic battle happening, and they had to escape. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing with
And it's how I think it's probably how their ships are made. It's how they're made. Maybe they're going so fast that they can surpass that barrier, being so fast that it just blocks it. It blocks it from burning. Maybe it's coming in that
Yeah,
fast.
and
We're
even-
getting invited to go to Virginia.
oh
Hey
dang.
boy,
Purple
thank
Court
you.
says that lots of civil wars, right, were,
Yes.
and then she says that there's a lot of stuff there that we should go investigate there one day.
Nice.
Yes. And I think in is it Yorktown or Jamestown they have some of the, I don't know if they're replica ships in the water. My mom and family had gone there because I had a great uncle that owned one of the historical properties there. I
Okay.
don't know if it was a plantation. I was young,
Uh-huh.
but they said it was pretty interesting because at night they were kind of scared to get out of bed and walk around.
Oh no.
Was it so dark or something?
It was there was okay, the kitchen wasn't done, but I don't think that that they had, I think they had to use candlelight
Oh.
and fire. I think
Hell no.
it was in disarray when they were there, and my great uncle had passed away, so they were there, but some people were feeling things, and they were getting kind of eerie because things started happening. They started feeling things, and it gets really cold.
Right,
It got
that's
really
one thing.
cold.
When we go to Black Star Canyon,
It gets cold.
it gets really cold. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
the spirits around us or if it's just Black Star Canyon. I mean, it could be super hot in the summer here, and Black Star Canyon gets really cold.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed the place that we went to after the cemetery, when we were doing the EVPs, I started getting like, I wasn't just cold, it was in my bones.
Right.
And I remember I said, I'm shivering so much. I don't know if it was the fact that spirit was so strong and it just hit me,
Yeah.
or
or
what,
maybe it was
but it
touching
was,
you.
Right.
it was doing something because even after we stopped it,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we gotta
Shivering.
get inside.
Oh my God, you couldn't get warm.
I know.
I
It was,
think-
Okay, you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's what happened to Scooby last night
He was really cold.
because he felt it in his bones, I think, and he
uh-huh.
was restless. He was restless. I think he saw something, and he was just kind of like just staring and sitting
Mhm.
on the floor, like watching, and he didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what to do.
Oh,
either.
my poor baby.
I know. I was like, what is happening? 2 hours or more. Like I think 3 hours. He was,
I think
like,
I
suffering.
think the
Yeah.
spirits knew we were gonna have the show. People are getting used to also coming to watch us on Friday nights. We have changed the times a couple of times. That's why we haven't been able to connect with the Daily D, which we love her
Yeah.
so much. But we want to have her on the show. We also want to have Terry from Ipso Facto
Yes.
and a couple of other ghost hunters that we know as well to interview them so we can hear their story. But I wanted to mention something.
Okay.
Going back to extraterrestrials and spaceships, because that's our main topic right of
Mhm.
tonight. What do you guys think about Vimanas? Have you ever heard of Vimanas?
Oh,
No.
it kind of looks like a floating bedroom.
Yes, it does. It looks like a floating,
Wow.
That would be awesome.
like the carpet, the flying rugs.
Oh, magic carpet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are Vimanas?
They're like I think it's like
They're a flying machine.
a
A
flying
transport, something to transport.
yeah, a
It's just
transparent.
another
They
UFO
sort of
ship.
kind of look like pyramids, but they have levels.
Is it on a cloud or something?
It's not on a cloud. No, no. It's been drawn and painted on a cloud because they want people to know that it was in the sky, that it flew,
hovers, yeah.
right? And
And what is the pyramid shape about then?
well, it's sort of like a castle. It looked like a castle, and this comes from India. So people in India believe in extraterrestrials because some of their gods rode the Vimanas, and they had intergalactic battles in the sky.
Yeah.
And I don't know too much about it, but I know that they're called Vimanas. They speak of blue extraterrestrials with many different, like I think with 6 arms.
Wow.
Yeah, and they would fight. They were like soldiers from the sky, and they would have battles, intergalactic battles over India and over that location. And that's how Hindu Hindu people believe in Vimana and believe in extraterrestrials. So why is it that so many different cultures believe in extraterrestrials? Like they speak of people that come from the sky. Even American Indians believe in that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they have a tradition still that they dress up like those dolls, Kachina dolls, and they're extraterrestrials,
like a spirit god. Or
like a
something.
spirit god dressed like in a sort of
Like a bird. Like it's like
no,
a playful
the
spirit.
Kachina are dressed like sort of like a spacesuit.
Mm.
It's like a spacesuit, and they believe that they saw these people that came from the sky in these spacesuits, and they decorate the spacesuit, and they have like a tradition. Like every year, they praise these Pachina dolls, which people dress up as them. So there's so many different cultures that believe in flying machines and extraterrestrials coming from the sky. Like, how do you explain that? Why would so many cultures believe in extraterrestrials? They all look different. They all see them differently. You see some of them to look in stone or in and on the walls where our ancestors have drawn what they look like. Some of these drawings from American Indians look like ants.
Yeah, I mean, different areas have different experiences. I think the aliens and anybody else from other planets, whatever the case may be, there's certain areas that are really attractive to them. I don't know if it's the people or what.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot because my boyfriend is from the Caribbean, and I've heard quite a bit. I heard
It's the ley
that,
lines.
yeah, I've heard of people being taken, and they have not been seen. And this is a small island. This is not a big island. That you can travel north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast, whatever. And you go and you insert. So every town you go to that you know this person would know somebody in, you go to it, you ask the people that know of this person, oh no, I haven't seen her. Oh no, I haven't seen that person. And they've had some instances where they were taken and they did not
Right.
return for 2, 3 weeks. And then when
That's so weird.
when their friends and family see them, they're disheveled. They don't know where they've been. They don't know what's going on, and they don't even know what day or year it
They don't remember if they ate or they don't
is.
remember
Nothing.
like going to the bathroom. I mean, you're just kind
Well,
of
a lot of people do black out. Okay, let's give you an example. Okay, I had a surgery done at one point in my life, and then the doctor came in and said, "Okay, the one that gives you the medicine to fall asleep."
Oh, the
Anesthesiologist.
The anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist. Come in, okay, Cassandra, count to 10, backwards, 10, 9. So I started to count, 10, 9, 8, poof. The next second, I'm awake, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was on 8. I was on number 8, and
It
now I'm
didn't work.
awake.
Yeah, it didn't work.
So I said, is it over? Oh yeah, it's done. We're all done, ready to go. It's like, what are you talking about? The thing is that I want to tell you is that you're asleep, but time does not matter when you're under this anesthesia because you don't even realize that you were asleep. So that's why I believe that time is not linear. I mean, I can tell you over time too as well. And you can wait a little bit before your point. When Cara and I, we were coming back from the Prince concert,
Oh yeah.
and we went to see Prince before he passed away. Rest in peace. He was awesome. The best concert. We had so
Back
much
in
fun.
2011.
2011, yeah, I believe so. We saw him and we're like, you know what, Car? We need to get out of here because we were in LA. We need to get out of here before everyone takes off, right? Because there's a bunch of drunk people here. People are partying. People are like going crazy over here. So let's get out of here, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, I was driving my boyfriend at the time. I was driving his truck at that time. So it was a big truck. And I'm like, let's go, let's get out of here. So we start driving down the 91. For those of you who know, the 91 freeway hits the 55 freeway, and we're off the 55. So we were driving on the 91, and then when we were getting on the 55, there was no one on the freeway except for us. A Civic to my left, us in the middle, and another little car to the right. And we were driving down the 55 freeway, and all of a sudden, we see white lights coming right at us.
Oh my goodness.
And it was about around 12:30, 12:30 at night, 11:30, 12:30. And then I'm like, what the heck? We've been looking at white lights the whole time. Red lights, which is people, the cars, the back brake, the brake lights, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, why all of a sudden am I seeing white lights in front of me, right in front of me?
Like
Well,
headlights.
what happened, it was headlights coming right at us. They were gonna hit us like straight on, like. And so I don't know what the heck happened, but I was driving. I reacted quickly, thank goodness, and I swerved to the left, like super quick,
All
right
the way to the what is it?
to the center divider. The
Mhm.
person on the left, thank goodness, was a car in front on their left, like the Civic. So I didn't hit the Civic. But when I swerved to the left, I saw the center divider, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit the center divider. And so I swerved to the right.
Mhm.
When I swerved to the left, I avoided the car that was coming right at us. But the car coming right at us swerved to the left as well and ended up hitting the car that was on our right.
Yeah.
So this part, I don't know what the heck happened really. All I know is I remember swerving to the right again to avoid the center divider, and I turned my head to the right to check on my sister, and I remember her moving in slow motion. We were driving and moving in slow motion.
It was like
You know what that was? That was shock. I bet you that was shock hitting you.
Well, I'm
Because
sure.
you're already, or almost having a palpitation in your heart or something like.
But why does time slow down? That makes no sense, right?
I remember, going like this, like looking, and then seeing the car
Because I was to your left.
She was driving over here, and then I looked over this way, and then I can see both cars colliding in slow motion, and then the trash going like this, and then Cass going like this.
Well, the trash, because
Yeah.
that car that was coming at us hit the car next to us. So the car next to us just freaking fell apart when the car hit
Yeah,
it
but
Yeah,
it
because
was
there
like
was no break.
yeah, it was exploding, like all the
in
trash
slow
was, like,
motion.
detaching in slow motion. It was weird.
And I think it's probably how our body's starting to react to the vision of what's going on. Because that's tragic. To us, and
But
our
it's
brain,
time.
it's tragic. Yeah, it is time. Another thing that I was going to discuss, I was talking with a family member of mine today, and she says, Isn't it weird how people react to anesthesia? She says there's been instances where people will actually be awake in saying that they are cognizant of being on the table and can feel what's happening to them at the time of surgery, but can't move and can't talk. So, what is that? I mean, that's odd.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, she said she's heard of instances where people's body did not react fully to what's happening.
I don't
With
know.
the
I've never heard of that.
anesthesia,
All I
yeah.
know is that I was happy I didn't feel anything,
Yeah.
and that I was ready to go. I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And then as soon as
Yeah.
we were past the accident, it was like real time again.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
time slowed down, and so we were like, wow, this is weird. I can't believe we avoided this car. I can't believe we avoided the center divider, and then I feel so bad about the person to the right. The other weird thing was that we didn't know who the person to the right was. It was just a stranger driving a car and that got hit. And so we posted on Facebook like, oh my God, we were almost in an accident, blah, blah, blah. Someone that I hadn't talked to in over 20 years, a person in high school. Oh my God, I just dated myself. I hadn't, yeah, I hadn't like talked to her in a long time, but we were, friends on Facebook. And she said, you know what? I'm working at this place. I know who it was. It was a lady, and it was a drunk driver that took the exit as an entrance, and that's why he was driving on the wrong side of the freeway.
So we were right there.
So we were. It was crazy that this person that I hadn't talked to in forever knew about who had
It's
had
a
the
small
accident.
world.
It's a small world, and
It is.
time stopped for us. It stopped. It slowed down, and I have no idea how I avoided these things because I don't think I'm a perfect driver, but I was like, better react quickly or else we're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
really bad. Like
Oh, yeah.
head on
You have to be.
collision.
Your eyes have to be everywhere. You have to be like.
And so I think when time slowed down for us,
It helped.
it helped
Do
me get away from these
Mm-hmm.
things that we were gonna hit,
Obstacles.
the obstacles. When time
Yeah.
slowed down, it helped me avoid the obstacles. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah. One time when we were young, we were driving from Torrance, California, all the way out to Arkansas. And then our ultimate goal was to go to Tennessee. So we're driving in Texas, and the axle breaks, and we had a Ford. It's the one that looked like a vehicle, but it had like a truck back, kind of like an El Camino,
Oh,
but
okay.
a Ranchero. That's what it was. A Ford Ranchero. We were pulling a Prowler trailer, and the axle broke on the Ford. And my mom was driving it, and we jackknifed with our trailer. And as we were spinning, as we were jackknifing, it slowed down. I was screaming. My dad saying something in the back. My mom and I was in the middle, and she had her friend on the right. And all I was doing was screaming, but all I could feel was like, it's going real. That's how
Yeah.
you feel. It's going real slow. What's going on? But we were all safe. My brother and my dad were laying in the back because we had a camper shell over it.
That probably
So-
would have protected you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Yeah.
it was fiberglass, a lot of those things were built like, you know, durable.
Hardcore.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they were in the back, and my dad's trying to hold my brother down. And I'm sitting in the middle, and my mom's all I can hear my mom say is, pull her off the steering wheel. I can't get this car going if she's on because I was already on the steering wheel. No, and I'm a little kid. What do I know? Just pull it back.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what was going on, and that's one of them. I've had one where I think I actually knocked out. There's been a couple. I was with my boyfriend, late 90s. We were driving up to a casino in San Diego, And this mountain is known to have very bad accidents.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
bad.
There's a lot of them
Yeah.
in Mexico.
Yeah, and this mountain, if you're coming, we got stuck one time for 3.5 hours while they cleared off
No, thank you.
accidents. But this one, we hit a big boulder, and when we jumped over it, my boyfriend had one of those TVs, you know, the little square TVs in a box. That hit his shoulder. He pushed me down on the floor, and all of the wood that this man had in his van laid all over our legs. And when I woke up, because I was knocked out, when I woke up, all I was waking up is to, Diana, wake up. Diana, get up. Diana, get out. There's smoke. And I'm saying I can't. My legs aren't moving. And it's slowly but surely you hear someone say, I'm here to help. And I'm like, what's going, I mean, I lost time there.
Right,
I don't
right.
know what happened. So while he's got his shoulder knockout saying, I'm cold, it's freezing, I'm in pain, I'm sitting there going, I have no shoes. I can't remember a certain period of time when we were in the van. What happened? He says, everything fell on us. We knocked out on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dang.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but I lost time. That's time, and I don't
But
even
it's
remember.
because what is time?
Exactly, but I think also we're not meant to remember certain things. We're not meant to
But who is
remember.
this person that doesn't want us to remember certain things?
Right. And
Like,
why?
you know, and why?
Like,
I mean, it just takes me back
Maybe
to
it's
the.
even our own brain shutting
Yeah,
down.
I think it protects us. Our brain protects
Yeah.
us from a lot of things. But I mean,
Yeah.
it just takes me back to like the whole thing about space time. I mean,
Mhm.
we hear about the simulation theory, right? The simulation
Exactly.
theory, the best way to put it, or the best way that I can tell you I understand it, is like being in a video game,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's a simulation, a video game. Somebody else is playing the video game, right?
Mhm.
And we are the characters in this video game called life.
like The Sims.
Mhm.
Like The Sims. I don't play video games, but maybe you can explain what The Sims is.
Well, it's like Sims is,
Virtual.
yeah, it's like a simulation of what it's like to be a certain person
In a certain town.
in a certain situation, and you choose for that person, and then you like, I guess, experience, and you gain knowledge and money and relationships and stuff. It's like a simulation.
Mhm.
It's it's kind of like our life, but like, who knows?
Could you imagine if virtual reality was our life? That's interesting. Putting a pair of goggles on, and you're no longer at home in your bedroom, sitting on a computer chair looking at a screen, or talking to your friend on the cell phone. You're now putting yourself in a whole different scenario. That would be interesting.
Well, I think we are in a simulation.
It's and we change our scenarios.
I think so. I think we're very powerful and we can change whatever we want to change in our lives. If we want something, you put it out into the universe and you can get it. You can bring it into reality.
It's about
You speak
intention.
it.
Because it's already there. The possibilities, all the possibilities that you can think of, and even the ones you cannot think of, they are already there. All you have to do is observe, look at it, and it will come true.
Yeah, and it is really interesting. Um, how we've grown to interpret how our lives are, and who we meet, who we bring into our lives, how they play a part on different scenarios, different ways of looking at things, questioning things, how those questions turn into reality. Again, deja vu is another side realm. I think deja vu, we're on a path and we have this straight path we run. And I think deja vu is the little paths that are are built on it, like a vein you have. Your vein has many different paths that it goes through in your body and connects to certain areas. I think that's the way our life runs.
I think so. I mean, that's a very, I mean, that's an idea of how it can.
Or maybe it's like
Mhm.
particles. Like we were talking about the particle theory or whatever.
Yeah.
The dual slit. Like you would have to set an intention, right? You can't actually, you know, kind of like face the thing that you want to do.
Mhm.
You have to put it out there, and then hope that it will become real.
Right.
Um,
Like speaking it into
But why do I mean,
happening.
think about it. How can a particle, which is in the quantum world
theory.
or realm, change to a wave just because it's being observed?
But maybe it's not just observed. Maybe if I took my cell phone and interrupted it, there's a change, because that may not be the intention, but it's like, hey, there was a movie.
Like
Remember
it
Deja
ricocheted?
Vu? Yeah.
it ricocheted off
Mhm.
something, or your vision path, or like maybe you create like some kind of wave by looking at it, and then it just kind of bounces off of that.
Yeah. And remember that movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington?
Yes.
And he throws the pin at something that. Oh, no, he didn't throw a pin. He lasered the screen, and the people in the screen who are actually 4 days behind, and what they're looking at is the realm. So they're saying we can bend time. So time is bent in order for us to see 4 days back.
Well, I think space time
Yes.
can be bent.
And that was the machinery. It's kind of like the flux
It's the
capacitor.
thing they do. This is space time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? Right here. This is space time, and then they bend it, and
Mhm.
then from the top to the bottom, you can travel through space, and you can go to your past or your future, depending if the
Mhm.
future's up here or down here.
Your
Like
wormhole.
it's
Yeah, and it could be reversed too. Could be
Yeah.
reversed the other way. So I mean, it's pretty interesting how all these things come up in movies as fictional, sci fiction,
Right.
sci-fi fiction. But you know what?
They'll have some truth, right? to it?
Yes, it is. It is. There's
Yeah.
a lot of them. There was one also that I saw years ago, and it was the Time Traveler,
Okay.
where she was the only one that could time travel, and then found out later that the child that she had with the man that passed away ended up being part of that time traveling way she was as well.
What do you mean?
They had a kid together. I think he passed away. She lived, and the mother, and the baby, she didn't realize the baby was able to time travel too. It's called Time Traveler.
Whoa.
You gotta
I'm
look
confused already.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess
it's-
we have to see it.
I guess.
Yeah, you really have to see it, because it really is interesting how I've loved an opportunity to time travel, and
Well,
that would be an interesting.
Actually, we can time travel.
it is. It's available to
After
us. We
projection,
have to-
We can.
if that's
If
more
I
like
stay-
an out of body.
If I stay here
Mhm.
and you take off across country on a plane, you, I'm getting older first, more quicker than you are, because you're flying around. So that is like
Time travel.
time travel.
Because you're entering different.
Right.
times.
And mass has a lot to do with the connection of time, which is our fourth dimension. You know, the three dimensions. Like it's what's the first dimension? It's like oh my god, I'm going blank. But anyways, the fourth dimension is time. And that fourth dimension, when there's mass, like say if you're running around the pyramid, let's say for example, the pyramid has a large mass, right? It's mass.
Mhm.
So you're running around the pyramid. Somebody else who's not running around the pyramid, maybe further away, travels a lot lower than the person traveling around the pyramid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it has to do with mass. I know it's
It's
totally
like a minute difference. or
yeah,
something?
it's not a minute, but
Or
maybe
4
like a
minutes?
microsecond or something.
Okay.
Well, you know what? This is also too, like you said, flying and stuff. So if I flew to New York and I moved to New York, I'm always going to be 3 hours younger than I've ever been.
Oh, really?
Yes, technically speaking, because I was born at 11 something here in California, but they're 3 hours ahead.
Well,
so,
that's cool. I'm
or
moving.
maybe 4 hours ahead, you know. So I'll
Well,
always
we
be
have
younger.
a message from Bruce. He says that he has done some astral projection
Mhm.
all the way to his childhood, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and we've actually been interested in a lot of these different aspects. Like I'm really interested in past lives, what I was in the past, who I was in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, we all want opportunities to be certain animals.
Yeah.
We want opportunities to be the opposite sex, see how the opposite sex lives. Maybe um, we were a certain person, and I really would like to find out about past lives.
But how will
Because
we do that? I mean, is there people that can?
there's people that do past life regression.
They hypnotize
Yeah,
you.
they
I don't know.
hypnotize you.
I don't want to be hypnotized.
I don't think I can be hypnotized.
I don't want anybody putting any crazy ideas in my head when I'm hypnotized.
You have to give me
Yeah.
a bottle of wine for me to get like
Relaxed.
sleepy or relaxed. But
Well, you know, it's almost like saying every time you hear the word duck, quack. You know, that's kind of like
Oh,
what
like
you
the
think.
code word.
Yeah, it's like quack, 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 quack. You know, act like a duck, go into the water, swim, and you got a beautiful dress on.
when in Rome,
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
It's fun,
I
but
would not let anybody mess with my mind.
yeah, and if you're strong-minded, I've heard that it doesn't hypnotizing does not work. So
Right.
I don't know if that's true. If it only goes with people that are mentally allowing themselves to go through this.
Uh-huh.
But if you're strong and say, nah, you can't do that,
Well-
I've heard it doesn't work.
But what? Okay, I know I'm saying I can't get hypnotized or I don't want to, right? That I would think that maybe if I meet somebody doing about past lives,
Mhm.
I would kind of want to know,
Yeah, what
have I been around before? Because I believe that we never ever disappear. We never go away. We're always here.
our vessels are the only ones that change.
Uh-huh.
Because no matter what, our bodies are aging from what we were.
Well, yeah, it's just a vessel.
Yeah. And
Like-
the vessels end up starting out.
our
Not-
essence.
hmm And these vessels, we can't talk, we can't move, we can't go to the bathroom by ourselves. We have to be taught everything, we have to learn everything. And in doing that, our vessel is now going to revert back, but in a different, like the curious case of Benjamin Button. He started in reverse, where
Oh,
we go forward. So our bodies started out 19 to 20 inches long. You started anywhere between, let's say, 2 pounds up to about 10 or 11 pounds.
Mhm.
11 pounds, holy Toledo, you would have killed your mom.
Holy Toledo.
Yes, but the growth progression that you're gonna do,
Mhm.
you can get all the way up to what? Let's just do an average height. Let's not
Okay.
even consider 7 foot tall. We get to be 6 foot tall.
Right.
We end up getting to be 90 years old, and you start not being able to eat food by yourself.
Oh,
You can't
gotcha.
drive anymore.
Well,
You
not
end up
everyone.
talking.
There's a lot of people out there that, like, I saw this lady that turned 92 and she's still driving. She's dancing. She's working out. I think it depends on how you treat your body, right? I mean,
Exactly.
it does deteriorate, but you have to kind of take care of it
The
too.
intention
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
on what you want to do with your essence, what you want to do with this vessel. You got to make it work for you. You know,
Mhm.
it's like a car. I mean, you
Right.
wouldn't put water in it instead of gas.
Yeah, and
Right.
your vessel has opportunities to recreate because you're born again.
maybe that's where the recycling comes from. Maybe
Right.
you reset as the new world resets. Who
Right.
knows?
Yeah, who knows what I'll be in my next life?
Who knows? We have a purple court saying that she wants us to do a show about past lives.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it'd be very interesting. I don't want to be hypnotized, but I do want to know if I've had other past lives. Is there a different way to find out?
I don't know. I mean,
it's
other
worth
than
the
getting drunk.
research.
Why do you have to get drunk?
Because that's the only way I'm going to go to sleep. But
That's what you think.
I don't know.
I think you could get hypnotized.
I don't
If you
know.
want to, I think you can.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't be adverse to getting hypnotized if I had other people in the room.
Yeah, to be safe, right?
Yeah, because I don't want them to say, "Oh, you're gonna bark like a dog every time someone says ha." I don't
Oh
want
my
anybody
God!
to
Have
put
you
that.
seen the movie Shallow Hal?
Yes, shallow Hal needs a gal or something.
Yeah.
Shallow
And
Hal.
needs a gal, and that's the same premise. But I don't want anyone putting me to where I'm gonna. I listen. I'm overweight. You think if I want to look in a mirror and see me like an hourglass figure, I'd love that.
Heck
I'd
yeah!
love to walk around
That's
going,
why I'm telling you, the
beautiful.
mind is very powerful.
Mhm.
Like
But
you
I'm-
can create anything you want.
But
I
beauty
just don't
comes
wanna,
from
like,
within.
Exactly. So
It's your essence, like I said.
what you believe yourself
Right.
to be.
And it's what you do
Right.
do with that essence, what you
Isn't that what keeps on living though?
yeah, your
Mhm.
Your soul.
when your
Mhm.
body, your physical body falls away, all that's left is the essence, the beautiful stuff.
The energy.
Yeah, the you know,
The soul.
You
Yeah.
can
You
call
think
it
it's
a
the soul?
soul.
The squishy
You can
stuff.
call,
The
yeah.
squishy stuff.
I don't know.
The inside stuff.
Yeah, and what I was told is that, what you could not make easy for yourself in life, if you progress that more in death. So if you're not a very huggy, like, oh, Carmen, don't sit next that close to me, that kind of person, or, oh, no, don't touch me, what do you want? Those kind of people. That's all become, you lose all the inhibitors.
Right.
Your life, your soul, your being, the bottom of who you are inside is able to show whatever you feel you didn't show in life. And that's how I believe. And yes, when someone said it, I said, you know what, it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense because people hold back so much for fear of either not being accepted or someone not accepting what they're willing to give.
Right.
And I think if you just said, you know what, I'm throwing this all off, I'm getting naked, so to speak, and I don't care what anybody says in life, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
Exactly.
But, of course,
we
Not
can't do
everything
it.
where you're gonna hurt people.
right.
No.
That's what I was
No.
gonna say.
You don't want to do whatever it comes to mind
Yeah.
because some people are cuckoo out there.
Yeah, and I went to that medium, and when she did that, she was telling me she could call heaven, and the video.
We do have the video
Yes, it is on thesisterswood.com, so you can look at it. It's,
on our channel. It's
yes,
on our channel.
and you can you hear the voices, but you cannot see me. So
It's like a recording through voicemail, and it was kind of like a channel,
yes,
kind of like PSP7, Ouija board, pendulum grid, and pendulum. It's a form of communication. So, and that's what she used, and it was
Mhm.
awesome.
Oh gosh, yeah. And
It was interesting. Why didn't you tell them about it? Like what they?
it it was interesting because it's like me, and then I'm sitting here, the woman sitting here. What she was actually able to do was great because she's telling me these people want to talk to you, and it was crazy. I think it was the craziest thing because I had never opened my mind up until that day to say, my gosh, the things she's doing are amazing. And she didn't know about me. She didn't know where I grew up. She didn't know anything like that. But boy, the things she told me, Spirit will talk to you about anything. And they will say anything. And it doesn't matter that they're wherever they're at. They will say what they want.
Mhm.
She says, I've had people open up and it's about sex. Or like we're having sex up here. Or me and my wife are having sex, we're busy or
It's
something
crazy.
like that. Yeah.
Getting busy.
Yeah, we're getting busy up here. Leave us alone type of thing. And then when I got the communication, internet sucks. And this is a man that was a mathematician. He got his doctorate at Ohio State University. He went to Notre Dame. He taught at Tulane University in Louisiana. And I'll tell you, this man was very smart. For him to do the internet sucks thing, is like, hey, wait a minute. I knew this person in life, and you know what? That's something to say. It really is, because everything was techie for him. It
Yeah.
was always computer.
Always
It was
something going
everything.
on.
But the way the woman said is, what she's essentially trying to tell me is, Spirit will say anything. So just expect anything to be said, and it will be said. And I was not expecting it. But it's so funny because you can't hear anything. All you can hear it is when the recording is being played back. So you're not hearing anything.
So why do you think that some stuff gets recorded? Like, how do these radios work? These spirit boxes? How do the tape recorders work? How do the digital recorders work? Why do they record things that we don't hear? Like, I've had my cell phone on, and then all of a sudden, there's an EVP in there of somebody talking it near my cell phone, and no one was next to me. How does that work? I don't understand why it is that we can record words and voices and sounds of what we believe are spirits of people that have passed.
Because they're electric energy, and they're using the electric energy. They want to say something. Every Let's say you didn't get to say something to me, and I'm not saying you. I'm saying you is
Someone.
It could be anybody.
Yeah, out there.
Yeah, and you pass away, but you haven't said something to me. And the only way that you can find out is the energy that I build around me. And I use the cell phone, or I'm playing a game on the cell phone. So is it easier to use the cell phone to manipulate? Yes, because I don't know if it's a kinetic energy or.
Well,
I'm
the reason
sure.
why I'm asking is because Bruce, Batman, asked about if we believed in the white noise. Like, you remember the movie The Poltergeist? The little girl would go in front of the TV. Remember the big tube TVs that they used to have before?
Carol Ann or whatever her name was.
She was little, she was a little blonde little girl, and she would go in front of the TV, and she would hear white noise or see the white noise, and then she would see like shadows in the white noise of people like walking around in there.
They're whispering they're talking to her.
Yeah, so that was a way of communication.
Yeah, because that was the only way of energy that they felt that they could use at that point.
Yeah.
And it really is something that is interesting. That if that was we've progressed in our technology. So we have more ways now. And people have thought back, how am I going to do? Look, the Ouija board was a board game before, just a parlor game. You walk into your house, everybody's sitting around, hey, you want to do the Ouija board? And it was just an innocent parlor game until people chose to make changes on how they did things and go for a darker way of living as opposed to a lighter way. And then they were finding they were opening these portals to the negativity as opposed to only requesting the positivity.
Or wanting to speak to people that their loved ones who have passed because they wanted to give them a final message or say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the portal opened, and then they're saying the portal's opening, and it could open for anybody
Right.
when it's open. But we make sheer intent,
Right.
intent on everything, and anything and everything that we open up. Because you see this new grid
Like
we
a
have
setup,
here.
right? Well,
Yeah.
we make our own stand.
Yes.
This
is,
one, it's just for now. It's a temporary thing.
Yes, but I've noticed some of them come because this is a banana holder. I'm sure everybody recognizes it. But I've seen some where they have that basket and you could fit the grid perfectly into the basket. You just probably wouldn't be able to see the grid. But there is another piece.
Yeah, it's like a stand and pendulum.
Yes, that Carmen has actually made one of them, and we're going to look forward to having it around. But again, when any of this comes about, we are going to ask and demand a positive energy because we don't want our animals affected. We don't want our household or anybody in the household affected by anything. Um, I'm very interested in dreams because dreams sometimes make sense to you, but they have different meanings. And the ones that don't make sense to you still have meanings that probably at the time of your life you're feeling doldrum or you're feeling certain things in your life aren't going right or whatever, and all of a sudden you have this dream and you're like, wow, what's this dream mean? I don't understand it and it's not really good. And I'm seeing this and this. And if you remember the certain aspects of the dream, and then you look up on the internet now, and you can find out what the dream meant if you just give the different little things into it.
But it's all up to interpretation, right?
Yes,
It's not
it
like
is.
it's totally true what it says on there.
Exactly.
It's
So
just up to the person that's interpreting the message, pretty much.
exactly, because some of the things don't make sense to us now,
Right.
but maybe in 5 years that dream will make sense to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Or you probably have the dream now.
It's like a lesson somehow, or like a little blip or message, a lesson to teach you later on, or to know what to do in the future.
You're right.
Exactly.
Well, because the future really is not real, because time's not real, and it's all happening at the same time. So if something affects you now, it will affect your past or your future. So gotta be careful what we think of. Gotta be careful what we do, how we treat others, how we treat ourselves. Gotta be careful about how we talk. If we're negative, if we bring on like negative intentions to others, it's very important that we keep positive because that affects everyone and everything.
And that's why we only will accept and really demand at any point, especially in personal spaces. Personal spaces are very important to anyone that lives in the personal space that doesn't want anything to happen in their personal space other than for the people that live there. And we all want to be happy. We all want to know that our personal space is sacred to us. So if we're going to open it up to spirit, we really want the most positive energy. We want the energy that we portray in our home to be portrayed in any of what we investigation that we do
Exactly.
in our home and outside of our home. So if I, Cass, Carmen, or Angie are nothing but positivity. That's what we will gain out of any investigation.
Yes.
Because the positivity means I gained some knowledge that I didn't have before.
And really, what we want to do here is not besides getting evidence and everything, but yeah, that's interesting and important. But we want to give people a voice, right? We want them to have voice. We do this because we feel for them because they probably are frustrated that they can't get their message across.
And it could be someone that died 50, 60, 70 years ago. Could you imagine if they never had an opportunity to speak? It's almost like your voice was stifled. And now we're opening your voice to be heard.
Right.
So
It's
One-
like you were saying something, and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
your life was extinguished, and you couldn't finish your sentence. It's kind of
Mhm.
like that.
yeah, and like things being thrown. Like last week, we had an issue where it sounded like someone wanted to catch our attention, so they threw something, and it sounded like something solid hitting another solid surface, like let's say quartz or granite or whatever. So something solid slammed against this hard surface. And when I went like this on a bar,
You'll see
I
this
just
on
went
our
like,
videos
yes,
coming
I
up.
went like this on the bar. Something behind me made a sound, but at the same time I went like this. So I know that my arm and hand couldn't even, the way it sounded, couldn't even sound.
Oh
the
no,
way-
it was in your hand.
Yeah, it wasn't the arm, it wasn't the hard surface.
You
I
were
was
like
putting my arm
you
down.
you put your hand down gently, and then bam, we heard
Yeah.
the noise, and we were like, and you were like, I didn't do anything.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys will see it on the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and we're actually gonna go through some of this stuff. I think it's a good idea if we do like deleted scenes sometimes,
Yes.
because at the
Bloopers.
end of I think deleted scenes are the best part because that's gonna be the stuff where maybe we act a little crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
good.
we have fun. We really
Yeah.
do enjoy what we do. And girls, it's 9:45,
Okay,
so we're just gonna do about 10 minutes of
Mhm.
communication. I think we're just gonna do the rods.
Jumping
Oh, the
rods,
rods, yeah.
That's it. And then we're gonna say good night, right?
Okay.
One thing though, for sure, we gotta be very specific that we do not want anything hanging around here because this is our personal space.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I'm very protective of it.
Yes, and it's same thing with my home. I always protect it. Um, right now, as I've said in the past, I'm of Catholic faith, so we do put things around like crystals to protect us and everything. And I carry around my mother's. Um,
It's beautiful.
yeah, this is my mother's rosary, and we hung my rosary on the door there. And then to the right of Cass is my bracelet rosary.
Yes, and it's so
And-
beautiful.
Yeah,
I
so
really love it. I don't know if you
yeah,
guys
I
can see
try
it.
to get things at stores, at the religious stores, because the faith does help me, and these are technically blessed in the church before they're given to somebody. So these are helpful ways to protect us against negative energy, because sometimes negative energy could be constituted into evil. That's
Right.
where it could
Well,
be put
I don't think
into
it's evil.
negative.
Honestly,
It's just negative.
it's negative. It's uncomfortable, and we don't want it here.
Well,
No,
it makes-
not at all.
certain people uncomfortable or pets, but it's intention, and we always have good
Mhm.
intention.
And we're positive
Uh-huh.
people that only ask for positive things.
Yes.
And
Hi, Louis. Thank you for joining us. And Bruce. Yeah, I know it's not fair. You like hanging out with us. Yeah. Actually, we've been on for a while, haven't we? I think we started at 7, and it's almost 10.
Wow.
So we can talk about these things for
Yeah.
a long,
So-
long time. And yes, everyone on chat can go ahead and ask a question. I will read it to the girls as I read it from the chat, and then I can go ahead and have them ask the
The
spirits,
question.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is that whomever has a question, ask a yes or no question because we are only communicating with the rod, like the
Yeah.
we're only communicating with the rods, which can only answer yes and no.
Yes, and the pendulum when we do open up at any time, and I'm sorry, is yes, no, possibly, and unknown. So these these two ways of communicating are
Right.
this is yes and no, and these just have a couple more.
Yeah.
And do it regarding your question about how can you protect yourself, like there's different ways that you can protect yourself. If you look it up on the web, you'll be able to find all kinds of ways of protecting yourself. We can't really tell you how because I don't really know what ball is. I don't even know what that is. And if it's anything negative, we don't want it here on our chat, and we don't want it on our show. We don't want to be rude,
Yeah.
but if you don't mention that, we would appreciate it. And you feel free to watch and feel free to like ask a question if you like. We keep things positive in the show. We just noticed that you came in, and then we are just letting you know that everything's positive in this show. And Batman, of course, you can ask a question.
Go
So
for it.
okay, let's go ahead and say our beginning.
Okay. We only invite positive spirits and energies around in this space. You cannot infiltrate any of our body, mind, or soul, or our spaces,
Or
when we're done,
anyone on chat
animals,
either.
or anyone on chat. We are protected with the white light. We only ask those that are positive to answer our questions. So feel free to start asking questions, guys. I don't know who has another
Okay,
question.
Bruce, if you want to place your question on chat, then we can ask it. Girls, if you guys have any questions as well, you can go ahead and open it and
Okay.
just make sure that it's only white light. Thank you.
Okay, spirits, those with the positive white light, I ask you, um, what would be your response for yes? Either crossing the rods or opening them.
You might want to, because it's hard to see the rods because of your hair,
Oh,
and so you might want to move.
let me move my hair.
Move maybe sideways a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to see.
Okay, and I'll
And
ask a question.
Move sideways that way more.
Oh, is what would you say yes is? What would you do for yes? Can you show me a yes answer?
Restart 'em.
Yeah, I'm gonna restart them real quick.
Okay, Batman, do you want to ask a question right
Yes,
now?
he has a question, but we want to make sure that we know what yes and no is first.
So what is your answer for yes? Can you please? There we go.
There we go. I think they were just stuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the answer for yes.
What's the baseline answer for
What would be the baseline answer for no?
no? Yippee! It almost hit me. Okay, so I'm gonna sit back. We
Okay.
got some amazing rod
Communication.
communication in our last investigation.
Okay, so Batman's question is, will he ever get out of debt and be financially secure?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Will Batman ever be financially secure and completely out of debt or debt free?
Looks like a maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think when it comes to those type of questions, I think it's really up to you, Bruce.
Power of choice.
This is your power. You find something good to do that can make you some money, and I think you're gonna do great. You have a great personality. You can just need a little bit of hard work, and you can do it. I think everyone can.
It's interesting how it only answers certain things.
Yes.
that and things that we're not supposed to know, it totally doesn't
or
answer.
that has to
Exactly.
do with our free will, because that's something
Mhm.
that the spirits cannot answer because it's up to us.
Yes, we make the choices in life.
Okay. Okay, so spirits, is it true that I have
Blonde hair.
blonde hair? So that's a no.
No.
We just ask this question not to play around or like disrespect spirit. It's just so that we can make sure that we're getting the right yes and the right no. Like yes is a cross
It's
and
just for
no.
confirmation.
Yeah, just
Yes.
confirmation.
Is there anybody else that has a question? Does anybody want to know anything?
Actually I don't really know who's on chat. Like they have to say hi because we can see that people are watching, but they're not really chatting, communicating. But I mean, girls, you guys can ask a couple of questions and we'll be off in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, is there spirit here that would like to communicate with one of us?
That's a yes.
Okay.
Okay, Bruce has
Okay.
another question. But
Okay.
keep go, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, Bruce wants to know. Oh, spirit, does Bruce have blue eyes? Yes or no?
No.
No.
What
Yeah.
color eyes do you have? Well, I'll ask the question in the meantime. How many how many spirits are he, how many spirits are here right now? One, two, three,
Three.
three.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask who they're here for.
Spirits is one of the three that are with you. Are you a family member of Diana?
And look how strong that is. This is what we're witnessing lately. Because Carmen's dominant hand is her right, so the rod in the dominant hand has always been the one that's moved the strongest. So
Okay,
this
Bruce
is
just said that his eyes are blue.
Maybe they think your eyes are aquamarine. It just there's not only one type of blue. As an artist speaking directly, as a college graduate in art, it's like there's not just one blue. It's like there's like aquamarine, cerulean,
Oh my God.
and all kinds of different
But
shades
do
of
you
blue.
think do you think spirits can see the people on chat?
well, we can ask them.
Yeah.
Spirits of the white light. Can you see the people that are communicating with us through the internet?
Yes.
That's a yes.
Okay. So ask them if they can see Bruce.
Okay. To the white light spirits that are here with me, can any of you guys see Bruce, aka Batman?
This is interesting. I'm going to explain why.
It's like
Do
dead.
you see? Do you?
I think the spirits know that he. We're kind of asking questions that are kind of like not disrespectful, but kind of like playing with
yeah.
them. And I don't want to do that. Like I want to make sure that we ask questions that interest us as humans. Like we want to ask good questions. Yeah, yeah.
And I think what it is I would like to ask this question.
Okay.
Do you, spirit, and this is meant respectfully, are you seeing from our standpoint the people in chat?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna talk to us anymore.
Yeah. Well, let's
because we don't want to ask these questions anyway.
Okay.
It's kind of
disrespectful
Not
to 'em.
disrespectful, like in a bad way. It's just that we don't want to play games
Games
with
with
that.
that. Okay, so is there still three spirits here in this room that want to communicate? Yes.
Okay, we want to apologize. We don't mean to like just play around with these things. We just wanted that
Yes.
as confirmation, and we understand that. We just wanted to know if you could see Bruce through the through the
We're
internet.
just
I
making
guess.
sure that what you are able
To see.
see and hear and things like that. Out of respect, we ask you for it. Um, are two of the three spirits that are here um, are Diana's family?
Two of them. So two of them are. They probably don't know Bruce either, right? So they're part of your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what the strength is. I've been told I'm sensitive. I don't know what the sensitivity means. Have I always spoke to my family? Yes, I speak to them. Do I smell them in certain respects? Yes, I can ask my Uncle Jess right now. Uncle Jess, are you here right now? So well, I can ask that.
We're giggling because Bruce just said that he has what you call bedroom eyes.
Whoa!
Midnight bedroom.
Ow!
So if they're midnight, are they midnight blue?
Yes.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Okay, girls. Ask your last questions, and then we gotta close it
Okay, is my Uncle Jess here right now as one of the spirits? Yes. Okay, this uncle owned a business, and I work in the business, and I smell him. So my next question would be, Uncle Jess, do you come and visit me when I'm working in your office?
up.
Hmm.
Went dead.
Okay, Uncle Jess, are you still here?
Let me read that. He's like, what did you just say?
Just ask your questions like quick and
Yeah.
easy.
How about this one? Uncle Jess, is it true that I smell you sometimes when you come to visit me in the office?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
there you
Okay,
go.
the questions have to be like simple.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
Um,
You sniff? What?
Yeah. Do you? I do.
What do
I
you
smell.
smell? What?
I
Fart?
smell like no. It's like a work smell.
Oh, gotcha.
When he used to come home, when he lived with us, he
yeah.
had like that
Yeah, we all do.
machinery smell,
We
work
all have our
smell.
own
The
scent.
Yeah,
earthy
so I used to smell
oil and
Yeah, different
like
things.
hard day at work smell.
When I hear, so as soon as she says it, I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
Uncle Jess, when I hear whistling, is that you reminding me that you're there?
Do you reset them?
Uncle Jess, do you remind us with whistling that you're coming to visit with us? Do you not want to answer that question? Do you know how much I love you? Yeah, he's he's very strong-minded. Do you know how much I miss you? It's some of the questions, it's maybe he doesn't want to answer, so I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys
It's
want to
really
say?
interesting that
Mhm.
some aren't being answered. I think
Yeah.
they're not.
That's never happened before.
Never.
Yeah, and some of them. Um, Dad, are you here?
It's like waving around.
Yeah. It's almost like maybe. Dad, did you want me to talk to you last week? Oh, I have a good question.
Why is it straight ahead.
I don't know. One is straight and the other one just keeps going.
This has
Bing,
never
bing,
happened
bing,
before
bing,
to us.
bing. Yeah, but I think the one question I want to ask,
Gotta restart.
yeah,
Okay, maybe it just took forever for him to answer.
yeah. And that's probably
Can I look into your bedroom minds, Batman?
Oh my god.
blink a couple times and she'll get hypnotized.
Yeah,
Maybe
That's
he
like-
knows how to hypnotize
past
us.
life regression happening
Yes.
now in chat.
And my question is because we heard someone say hello, was that spirit connecting with us last weekend?
Whoa.
See how they go straight like that?
It was swinging.
It
It
stopped.
just stopped
Okay,
altogether.
I
but
don't understand.
That's so weird. It never goes like this.
Okay, let's clear out this room. Something's going on where something or someone is stopping other spirits from communicating with us. You need to go away. You're not allowed in here. Go. Only positive energies in this room.
Are there only positive energies in this room right now? So we need the positive energy only. We do not accept, and we do not accept negative energy.
No.
I cannot have that. Carmen cannot have that, and either can Cassandra. We cannot have negative energy.
Do you understand?
Do you understand? Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you
If
so
you're
much.
here for negative reasons, you need to leave now. You're not
Yes.
allowed here.
Yeah, we can only have positive energy. We feed positive energy. We do not feed negative energy, and we will not accept it.
Okay.
So I just want to know, is Diana's dad here with us? He is here. Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Wood, can you please protect this home and this personal space? Thank you. We'd really appreciate it if you could. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
We want to
Wow,
just keep
thank
it
you.
positive here. Only positive. If anyone in chat would like to ask any questions, you want to reset, or every time reset them, like Diary of the Mind, Bruce, any questions before we go?
yeah, we have a couple more minutes that we're gonna
Yes.
before we close out and sage this place.
And mind you, we did sage before we went on. So everything was saged. All the entries and exits, anything that includes window, was all saged. And that is so, entry here is of a positive nature.
And only allowed by who lives here. And I
Yes.
do not allow negative energies here.
Exactly.
You need to go away. So, Diary of the Mind, of her mind. Yeah, Diary of the, it's if of the mind, of her mind. Diary of her
Don't hurt
mind.
yourself.
Has a question. Go ahead and answer your question, Diary. I'm just gonna say Diary.
Dear Diary,
Please
I was talking
ask.
to Batman and he has midnight blue eyes.
Dear
Yeah.
Diary. Okay, you guys have any question before while Diary types her question in?
Was there a spirit that said hello when we were at the cemetery last week? Yes. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
answering that.
Diary of the
Yeah.
Mind says, "Are the angels trying to get me a message? Message to my friend. They know the name." Okay. Diary of the Mind wants to know if they're trying to get angels. If the angels are trying to get a message to her friend.
Wow,
Wow.
that was a strong one.
Yeah, and it
Strong
jumped.
tool, yeah.
It jumped.
Yes.
It's yes, because it's swinging pretty good. And when someone's energy is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Can you uncross the rods if that's true?
Oh, did you see that? It stopped.
Well,
It did.
it went straight.
Yeah. It stopped complete. It was swinging.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
We got a lot of uncrossings last week. So, and that normally we don't get a lot of. So that makes us happy.
It says her third eye was pulsating when you guys repeated that. What does that mean when your third eye was pulsating?
Like
Repeating,
right here.
repeating what exactly?
The question.
Oh,
Repeating the
repeating the question.
Mhm.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like it was like I don't
Pulse.
know, vibrating or
Uh-huh.
or
Mhm.
like it was resonating with her.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
At least that's the only way I can interpret it. Okay, well, we thank you, spirits. We're gonna go ahead and close this session, and all of those energies and all of those spirits that have joined us tonight, you may go ahead and go back to your homes. Do not stay here. We will chat with you at another time. Um,
This is a personal space and must be maintained without spirit for clarity and safety for the residents that live in the home.
Yes, and do not attach to anyone that's on chat. Protect everyone that's a good light, good spirits. We all want to be protected. Diary of her mind says right hand path. Got it. Thanks. Oh, it's because of the right kept moving the right one, right? And then all of a sudden it opened up like quickly the right one, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
And went straight. So yeah, you answered. The answer was yes.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much everybody for joining us. We did a long one this time from
I know, but
it was
this is
fun.
the longest. We want to do different subjects. If there's subjects that
You are
You have-
personally interested in.
that we can do research on and discuss because we have fun discussing it. I mean, we want to discuss dreams.
Good night,
Past
Bruce. Thank you for
lives.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And it's just an open way for us to get more information out and even into what we may want to know.
Mhm.
And I think we want to do dreams, we want to do past lives. I think knowing how spirit is communicating and everything like that would be a good one as well.
Right. And we also want to do other subjects besides the spirit world. We want to do things that are like paranormal or things that aren't very well known. And we'll have different subjects that we'll be talking about, and we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, things that
And
make you go,
places too,
Hmm.
yeah. And places, if you want to know more places to go to,
Yeah.
other than cemeteries or what you may have heard and what's popular out there. I mean, we
Yeah.
would love to
And-
research.
And
those.
can you let us know what you guys would like to be called?
Yes.
We've been playing with names. Para, people. Oh, there's Angie or fourth para baby.
Hello, Angie.
We're
We're
leaving.
still on. And if you look at it, we've been on about 3 hours, so we're enjoying ourselves. Angie.
So right now we're talking about what our subscribers would like to be called. If you guys want to do like a voting type thing, like para people, para peeps, something para maybe,
para viewers,
para subbies.
para woo.
So just let us know what you would like to be called,
Yeah.
or para babies.
right?
Yeah.
Para babies,
Mhm.
para cuties,
Para chatters.
para
Para
chatters.
chatters, yeah.
Para chatters.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Because we do love to chat. Oh my God, we've been
Yes.
chatting for 3 hours.
Yes, it's been crazy.
Yeah, Bruce, everybody, anyone who's watching this after the live and it's the recording, put down below what you would like to be called. Para chatters, para babies, para peeps. Just
Para
give us an
wolves.
idea. Give us an idea, and then we'll start calling you guys that. Right?
Yes.
We just
Yes.
wanna.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I
Or
think
my
it'd
ghost peeps.
Yeah.
be cute.
Mhm.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great evening. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and
And share.
ding that bell. Share this.
If
And
you want to watch the videos, ring the bell.
Yes. And definitely we have them in the Sisters Wood. Thank you for coming and have a great evening.
Bye, guys. Thank you
Good
for
night.
joining us.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, thesisterswood.com. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.